Talk about it all here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Make sure and hit that like button, share button, comment button.
You know, one thing about Jaden that I've tried to talk to him about is tightening his chin strap. Because he doesn't tighten it, so every time he gets hit, it looks like his helmet's all messed up. And it's like, oh, God, he just got rocked.
For the win! Caught! It's good! LSU does it!
After fucking Saturday night in Tiger Stadium, boys. Are you kidding me?
Well, LSU fan came stuck his spike in my booty.
That motherfucker hard!
Fan brought his 2 grandkids by and literally was just 30 seconds, just wanted to say thank you for the team and the season and what you did and how much it means to everybody here is truly what makes LSU special.
Yeah. Coach Kelly, we're official.
Finally,
I'm
get a
telling
chance to meet you.
Thought I had to get a private audience with the Pope. It's Jordy.
Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification, we about to go live. We got all your favorite guests, we got them in line. It's the Jordy Culotta Show, come have a good time.
Tearing up, answering the question, and I thought, my God, if she gets offered this job, she's going to take it.
It's just a crazy, fun time at LSU right now. Isn't this what everybody loves?
From the boot to the east to the west coast, no matter where we at, open up the phone lines, come and join the show. Make sure you tell your friends about Jordy Culotta Show. Yeah.
Let's go! Let's go! All right. Big start. Big day. Nice start.
It's the Jordy Culotta Show. Come have a good time.
Coach, it's great to meet you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you for the time. Good morning and welcome in here on this Wednesday morning Hump Day edition. Per Christian. That's what he said. He's hanging out with his girlfriend tonight.
Oh, you dirty dog.
I am. Wait, no, hold on. hold on. Listen. You ever watch You on Netflix?
Watch me all the time.
No, the show You.
Yeah, how's it still on?
New season just dropped. It's
How?
so good.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, wow,
Yeah.
it's not good. There's no way. It's the same thing every time.
Yeah, that's what makes it
You
good.
keep getting away with this.
It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Who would let your daughter date him?
He's found a new woman already. It's like
Yeah,
the third
I don't
episode.
get the appeal.
You don't think he's good looking?
Not like this. That's 15
How to
murders
get away
in.
with that?
He's got a bunch of kids running around.
Yeah, but
His first girlfriend was pretty hot.
Christian actually got spotted with the lady friend the
Oh,
other
yeah.
He
day.
did.
And she was told to tune into the show.
Yeah.
And now here she's in the
I
chat.
forgot about that. Thank God.
Really?
So she has not been tuned in, but if any of y'all see her, I'm so screwed. 'Cause she's gonna go back and watch past shows.
Don't give yourself that much credit.
I mean, I
That's
did
awesome.
mention Kay Adams.
Yeah,
Thursday.
well, I mean, I think that's a viable.
She can't get mad at you.
She
for
won't
paying
understand that.
No, if it was like
It's
Kay
okay.
Adams from Chemistry 1201, then yeah, you'd be in
Yeah,
trouble.
yeah,
Yeah.
This is Kay Adams from the Kay Adams show.
This is Kay Adams.
Yeah,
She's not going to get mad about Kay Adams. Don't flatter yourself.
I don't know.
if Kay Adams picks you, she'd be like, "Damn, I respect
me,
the competition."
yeah.
Yeah, I guess Kay Adams is my celebrity crush, right? We can think of
Yeah,
it
if you
way.
that's say if you get a hall pass,
Yeah.
that's where you would burn it.
And then you find out who her hall pass is. And
It's me.
And it's Branson from Pi Kappa Pi Chi Phi.
Yeah,
and you're
And
like,
then we go,
oh, God.
Branson.
we go Joel Goldberg on him.
Yeah. That's what Sabrion said, because when we were talking about you hanging out with your girlfriend, you bring up you, and he said,
Jesus
Christian, are you going to kill her?
It is an entertaining show. You can learn a lot from it, especially how to kill men and women.
there you go.
There you
That's
go,
probably not
Christian.
what you should.
You can learn how to plan a suicide too.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what Glimmer says. Just get a good alias / screen name.
screen name.
Yeah. Like he's Glimmer for that. I don't think that's on his
Oh,
birth
oh.
certificate, right?
Yeah,
Really?
maybe that would be an awesome name.
That'd be great.
It's like Hunter Hall. Is that not?
That's his real name.
I think that's his real name.
You think
He does.
Fonz Farrelly is his real name?
Yes.
I think Slattery is his real name. I think that's a real person. I think Sabrion is a real.
Yeah, I think
Think
a lot
George-
I think a lot of these are real names.
Yeah.
Kenny Bilal is
They
definitely.
don't
a real
hide
name.
behind no burner.
Nope, not hiding behind
Wow,
nothing.
for sure. Brian Burgess.
But we've got a couple.
No,
we've
that's
got
the fake one.
We've got Glimmer, P-Dub. P-Dub, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be associated with his real name.
Yeah, I know who that is.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
For sure.
Fonz says, hey. But, good morning. Appreciate you guys joining us. And LSU, obviously, last night, LSU baseball with a W, a walk-off run rule once again. In Jimmy Magoo.
Real.
Real.
Oh, a Satin Magoo.
Dude, that's his favorite joke. It's so funny.
It's so funny because I never knew it before, and then when I heard it, I'm like, shit, that's so true.
I did make a kid sit in gum, actual real gum, at school whenever we were in church. Was that a debacle? He was really upset.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I didn't do it. I mean, it's hard to prove.
Yeah, I mean,
Just because I'm sitting right behind you doesn't mean I did it.
Could be the
How
guy,
old were
could be
you?
Anybody next to you.
Probably a sophomore in high school.
Oh, okay. So you were experienced by then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say you were in like middle school. 15 years old.
That was a good like middle ground.
Well, you can get away with it as a sophomore. When you're a little kid like that, you'd be all red and.
Right? No,
No,
I was,
not
I was,
Lloyd.
I was, yeah, but I was been deviant since I was a child.
Well,
No
it's better than
chance.
vaping in church.
I've done that too.
Yeah.
My mother got locked in church.
Really?
Yeah, she got locked in. Like, she was, I forget where we were in New Orleans. She like went to go try to find the bathroom, and she couldn't find the bathroom. Then she ended up like in some cry room upstairs, and
wow.
locked behind her. And so I made her FaceTime me while they're still like having church, and all you could hear, he said, "Help!" With one person would walk by, and she was locked in there for a good 15-20 minutes. We were watching a golf tournament. And she was in church. We were like, "This is great entertainment."
Yeah, it was locked.
She never got out.
Nope, never escaped.
It was Joe
Goldberg. Sitting in gum.
Yeah.
Did gum.
There you go.
It's a good country song.
It would be. We need to write it. LSU baseball with a victory last night. The Tigers take care of business against Southeastern in Alec Box Stadium as they run rule the Lions in 7 innings. A little walk-off.
Can't stop doing it. Addicted to walk-offs.
3 walk-off wins in a row.
You walked off on, I guess you could go back to
Friday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday you got run ruled.
You got run ruled.
Yeah.
Friday, walk-off. Saturday, no walk-off. Sunday, walk-off. Yesterday, walk-off. 1, 2, 3 walk-offs in 4 days.
Your 3 wins in the last 4 games.
I mean, walk-offs.
Walk-offs.
They're addicted to walk-offs.
Addicted to walk-offs.
Not a bad addiction to have.
No, and it was a walk-off grand slam by Ethan Fry last night.
Good for him.
But
he loves a midweek.
He does. He does. They all love a midweek. I mean, how about Derek Curiel, another lead-off homer?
Of course.
It's unbelievable. He can't stop.
Bear Jones hits one right after
right
him.
behind him.
I was like, oh, these boys are feeling good.
I think it was 444. Bear Jones
crushed.
homer.
It was right when Rance was talking about how far he hit the walk-off.
Of course.
He's like, oh, another one.
I'm going to try to compete with that. But yeah, LSU baseball takes care of business with a walk-off last night. Good to see the offense continue to roll. And I know some people could make the comment, well, it's just a midweek game. No.
Mm-mm.
We don't do that anymore because you saw what happened in the midweek game last week and all the fallout from that.
Burn it down.
We are going to take what we can get, and the offense looked excellent last night for LSU. The rhythm we thought that the Tigers were getting in against Tennessee on Sunday, where they finally got the bat swinging and got in a good offensive flow after really a rough month that they've had. They continue on on last night against Southeastern.
Scored 4 in the first, 1 in the second, 5 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, and 4 in the seventh. 15 runs. Whenever they put up these crooked numbers like that up early, that's when you really don't see the fall off after that. Like there's very rarely like you put up 5 in the first and then you have to wait until the 6th or 7th. You kind of see them sprinkle it all around. So when they get off to a hot start, and I'm not begging for your Curiel solo shot to start the game every game, but it does.
Nice.
It does help.
Well, it alleviates pressure, for everybody involved. Like it only builds up the more you see zeros on the board, and that's been LSU's biggest struggle as of late. Is Friday against Tennessee, even though they come back and they walk it off, they were getting no hit through the 5th, and it's just zeros on the board. Not even getting not even putting a bat on the ball.
Grind it out at bats though.
Yes, 100%. And then as time goes on, then you think about it from the pitching perspective. Like to me, that was the biggest thing for Case and Evans on Sunday was even though he gave up the inevitable 2 in the top of the first, Derek Curiel gets him a run back in the bottom of the first. And it takes a little bit of that pressure off his shoulders to get back out there and take care of business.
Well, and the offense as a whole is because they've been the previous 2 games, you can't wait until the 5th.
Right. Yeah.
Start, I'd like to see a run on the board early. They were able to do so.
Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, it was good to see the Tigers go out, take care of business, 15-2. Southeastern is a good baseball team. Like I said, their record was 33-11 prior to that game, so they're now 33-12. That's a good record for the Lions, and LSU takes care of business at home. William Schmidt's stats on the night, he gets his 7th win of the season as he is now 7-0. 3 1/3, gives up 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, and 5 of those 7 were in a row from the first to the 2nd inning.
It gets a pop up, and then the next 5 guys he struck out.
Yep, and then
that's the part that is the tease of it all.
Yes.
When you see the good and the bad, but you're like, he has that good enough stuff. Like you said, Southeastern not bad, but he's dominant enough to strike out 5. I mean, he's done this before where he gets on a run of striking out 5, 6 guys in a row, and you're just like,
gets in that
do
flow
that.
state.
And then once he starts missing the zone, it becomes sporadic, and you can see it kind of unfold, but it's like, well, keep him out there because he might strike out 5 more.
Right. Yeah, and he goes 3 1/3, which means he's definitely going to still be viable for this weekend. He throws 69 pitches, so one of those later days he might get back out on the mound. Primo comes in 1 1/3. Newt throws 1 1/3. They both get 3 strikeouts, and Ware closes it out 1 inning, 1 strikeout. The Tigers only give up 6 hits and 2 runs. So all in all, a good victory for LSU last night. And to me, it's just the best to see that they are continuing to stay in that rhythm that we all thought they were kind of breaking through and getting to on Sunday. Because it had been a rough month of April. It seems like they're closing it out stronger than they started it and getting to May, hopefully, in a much better rhythm to get ready for postseason play.
And this is all without Stephen Milam on
Yes.
the offensive side. Obviously playing a hell of a shortstop, but you're starting to see, like you would hope that he could use these games to kind of get right. Hit a rocket a ball when he grounded the double play. That was like 111 off the bat. So that's promising, but 0 for 3. It'll be okay as long as you keep playing short because I know that the offense is in there. It's still got 9 tugs.
Yeah, no, I mean, he hit a homer in the Saturday game over the weekend to cut the lead to 3-1 against Tennessee. He had a rocket double, I think, in that same game. So if they can all they're starting to get in a rhythm, but they still have a couple pieces, like Lloyd said, that can still come around. But I think Braswell has had a nice couple of games where he's starting to get in a nice rhythm and starting to find his swing the way he did last season going into SEC play. We'll have John Eads join us at 8 a.m. because Jacques Doucet won't be able to join us. He texted us last night that he wouldn't be able to make it in, so we text John, asked him if he wanted to sub in for his boss man, and he's going to join us in studio at 8 a.m. this morning. And then, have we talked to Nick?
No, I'll text him here in a little bit. I like to let Nick get kind of up and moving a little bit before I'd like to bombard people at the 6:30 in the morning
text.
mark. Like, hey, you good? Like, no. Why would I? Just get away.
I'm sleeping.
Or the Jordy move, the
3 a.m.
3 a.m. Like, what? No. You would hope. I guess that move is hoping that they don't wake up to it, and they wake up and see it.
Yes.
But I would not run the risk of.
I used to hate waking up.
If somebody texts me at 3 in the morning and be like, hey, you good for tomorrow? I'd be like, oh, what?
Yeah. Oh, my. Yeah.
So I'll just
Couldn't imagine.
Wait until 8.
So possibly Nick Underhill as well at 8:30 to discuss the Saints and their draft and everything that's transpired in the last week or so since we've talked to Nick. So we'll get more into LSU baseball when John Eads joins us at 8 a.m. But Jay met with the press after the game last night. We don't have this cut up. I should have asked for it. That's my fault, not Christian's fault. But I know Eads got some
accountability.
Yep, that's on me. So me, I'm looking back, and I made a mistake, and I need to fix it.
There's a deep drive to left.
Pride myself as a man of faith. But John Eads got some of the clips from some of the availability after the game last night, and I want to play the clip he has of Jay talking about Devin Sheeran, because I think that's something that I think when we talked to Mikey on Monday, he brought it up maybe in the midweek last night that you might see him. You didn't, but it does seem to be moving in the direction of, like we all kind of expected, maybe postseason time he might be back in the fold. That seems to be the direction things are moving. And here's Jay talking about
hold on.
Yep.
Hold on.
Sheeran and where he's at as they are approaching the month of May, which is when the postseason baseball will begin at the end of the month. They've got how many series left? 3?
They have
A&M,
Arkansas, South Carolina.
There you go. 3 weekends left before postseason play. Here's Jay talking about Devin Sheeran, the transfer pitcher.
He threw a simulated game Thursday and was healthy. Now it's just about sharpness, to put him in a game. And we feel like if we have the right opportunity, we will. Didn't really present itself tonight. The 7th inning, Connor was pitching the 7th inning, and he was only throwing 1 inning tonight. So that took priority, and then we probably would have gone with Myers in the 8th because I want to keep him going. He's really helped us, and then we would have gone back to Fontenot in the 9th because I felt like he earned another opportunity based on how he pitched last week. So it didn't present itself in the game. Wanted to give William a pretty good runway. He threw 5 pitches on Saturday, but it was going to be like a 70 pitch, max 75 pitch type deal. And then the game was in the balance still at 5-2. They had a run of lefties. We went to DJ. So I like how the game went tonight from a pitching. So it just didn't fit tonight. Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean that could be. He's definitely getting back in the rhythm, but he's got some good stuff as you've seen whenever he committed to LSU. Some of the clips that came out, and he could be a very big piece of what's to come for LSU baseball because they need the pitching to get in a spot for postseason play to be in a little different place than it is right now, where you have to have some guys that you can rely on outside of the big four. Anderson, Ianson, Cowan, and Evans. Mm-hmm. That's your four. You've got four guys that anytime, any place, you trust them to go out there and handle business. You've got to find – you need – a couple more arms to step up.
6 is usually the number.
That can start, but that can also come in relief and handle business. I think Chase Shores is one. If he's now out of that starting role, if he's kind of in the hybrid role of he could be in relief, he could start, he just needs to get back. He needs to get that slider under control because he's got the fastball touching 100. And so what are a couple of the other names? So that's why I think Sheeran – and his return could be.
It just can't hurt to add to this this group,
right?
Like the group of 4.
Yes.
Like Schmidt, I would say, and you haven't seen some of these guys in a minute, and kind of like leverage spots. You have Schmidt, obviously. I mean, Cade Woods, Jaden Newt, Cooper Williams, Dalton Beck, who now is a hitter. Jacob Myers, Chandler Dorsey, DJ
Maverick
Primo, Connor Benj, Devin Sheeran. Maverick Rizzi, Connor Ware. So, but from that group, that litter of pitchers, because it was, remember when they all pitched and they all pitched really well for like the first 15 games of the year?
That was awesome.
That was fun. But I would say probably Myers is the most interesting test case outside of Shores and Schmidt because he's been getting opportunities. He has been better than he'd been previously. Like you're starting to see him locate the fastball a little bit, and you see what he has in the tank whenever all he has to do is throw strikes. You don't have to throw anything other than the fastball. But you see whenever he gets in there, he can work in. He has like a little 92-mile-an-hour cutter that he throws. His 88-mile-an-hour sliders. Like the speed change presents a problem. But really, you just want to see him go in there and throw 1,000 miles an hour and blow it by people because from his arm release and where it comes from, it feels like he's right on top of you. And it's something that it can play and it can win you baseball games.
Yeah.
But if it's not him, I still like what I've seen from Maverick Rizzi, and then you need somebody from the left side. You saw Primo get some run. Somebody that Jay obviously trusts.
Yes.
Likes to put him out there. And then after that, that's where you would like to add a Devin Sheeran because when you look at what he was before the injury, transfers from Mount St. Mary, ranked 8th among Baseball America's top 100 college transfers. Freshman season, Mount St. Mary, 109 strikeouts, only 32 walks in 70 innings. That is elite stuff.
Yeah, that's big-time numbers. And then William Schmidt, obviously, we talked about him. The good and the bad. You saw him, William Schmidt, last night, 5 strikeouts in the first 2 innings, 5 in a row. So when he shows off the good, it looks really good. Mm-hmm. He's just got to stay under control. It seems like it kind of unwinds quickly for him. Like when he loses control on a couple pitches,
it's hard to get
the dominoes start falling, and you can't really stop them.
It's a lot like Kate Anderson last year, who obviously made a big jump from, but you could see all the potential in the world. Same way you see all the potential in the world in Schmidt, where you're going to look up one day, and you would hope that you can start finding Schmidt do it this year, like whether it be out the bullpen, which I think it will be, because you're going to call on him in a big-time spot at some point this year. And like you've seen it happen already, he hasn't performed as good as he would probably hope. But there's going to be a spot in a baseball game, whether it be the 4th inning or the 6th inning, where you're like, I need you to bridge the gap here before we can get to one of the big dogs. Or you're going to be out of the big dogs, and you're going to need somebody like, go win us a baseball game.
Yeah.
And that, because when you look at the talent on the team, that was a guy that you didn't expect to make the campus. You thought he'd be riding, on a bus somewhere.
Yeah, he'd be in the minors. And Jay Johnson talked about last night. I think Eads has a clip of that as well. where, I mean, because he could be a massive key. Because if you look at Saturday's game against Tennessee, when Ianson, it was time for him to get pulled, when his pitch count got high and the control wasn't exactly the same, the guy they pulled out of the pen was William Schmidt.
Yep.
So I think he came in with maybe a runner or two on base. I don't know if there were any outs at that point, maybe one. And it was a high leverage spot, and he walked his first batter. And Jay took him out right there because that's kind of been his deal. If he, like I said, that snowball starts rolling, it'll keep rolling, and it's hard to stop. And if William Schmidt's able to get it kind of corralled and in control, he's going to continue to be put in those spots. If he can make it happen, they're a completely different baseball team. So here's Jay talking about his freshman pitcher.
Well, I think he's going to be really good. And, the sign is, we made a small adjustment, yesterday. We met with him probably for about 2.5 hours between Coach Yeski and I, and got some stuff dialed in. Again, I'm not going to overly elaborate on that. But what I notice with my best players is that when you put something like it in front of them and then they go do it, that tells you how good they are. And William is going to be awesome. And we had told him a story. I actually told him I was on the opposing side of Coach Yeski had a pitcher in 2018 named Kevin Abel, who at this juncture, like William has had a more successful freshman season than this guy Kevin Abel, but he kind of just kept going like this. Like he had a tough outing against us at Arizona, which allowed us to win the series. But then after that, Nate really stuck with him. And I think he beat Oregon on a Tuesday, and then it manifested itself to in the postseason, he carved up LSU in the regionals, carved up Vanderbilt in the super regionals, and I think he won 4 games in Omaha. And my point was let's take some perspective here. You're doing great. I've told you guys, do a search. Have anybody done the search yet of Power 4 freshman pitchers with an ERA under 4 with this many innings and as many strikeouts? It's a very small list, So he's doing fine, but we want to keep advancing him. I promised him that we would make him the best pitcher that we possibly could be when he decided to come to this route. And we feel like we have a little more sample size and data to be able to help him. So, we dove into that yesterday, and it was a good day. And I'm proud of what he did tonight.
Yeah, no, I mean, he can be a key for LSU. If he's able to get it straightened out and be the player that we all kind of expected him to be with those high expectations, it could be special for LSU moving forward, especially into the postseason play, where you need all that you can get, whether it's relief pitching or starting pitching. You need Schmidt to do both. So Eads had a couple more clips. So shout out to John. We're going to give him the shout out once again when he gets here at 8 a.m. This morning, as he's doing a great job covering the baseball program. He's got all of these, the great B-roll and the clips from the post-game press conferences. And I think there's a clip of Daniel Dickinson, a short one, of him talking about Derek Curiel. Because how about this stat line from his last 2 games? 6 for 6. 2 home runs, 6 RBI. I mean, that's in response to, on Saturday, his 43-game on-base streak ended against Tennessee in game number 2.
Start a new one.
He's turned around and has 6 for 6, 2 homers, 6 RBI. Just absolutely unbelievable. And Daniel Dickinson commented on Curiel and how impressive he's been over those last 2 games.
Flow state. Flow state. That's the best way to describe it. I mean, he's really fun to watch. He's a great player, great person. It's just flow state. He's right there. You don't want to mess him up. You don't want to do anything to get him out of it. Just let him keep going as long as he can.
You talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, he's just the kid's unbelievable.
Yeah.
As much as we continue to because I feel like every time we talk about him, it's always in the context of freshman.
Yeah.
He's the most impressive freshman. He's the best freshman. He's, but I think he's now broken out of that mold. He's just one of the best players in the country.
Yeah.
Like, no longer best freshman in the country. He's obviously still the best freshman in the country, but we don't need to pigeonhole him into that, that lane. He is one of the best baseball players in America.
It's like the old coach's adage whenever you played when you were a freshman. It's like, you're not a freshman anymore. At this point in the year, you ain't a freshman.
Right.
You've been doing it. You've been playing. Don't hit me with you're a freshman. Okay.
Yeah. No,
so that's my teachers.
That's right. He's unbelievable.
Quit making sitting gum. You're not a freshman.
I was laughing before that. Stop.
Gets him every time. But yeah, I mean, it's at the point with Curiel now where the SEC, it needs to stop being SEC Freshman of the Week, and he needs to start being SEC Player of the Week.
Yeah,
because he is
getting that recognition too.
Good, because he deserves it. I mean, he is one of the best baseball players in the country. Like, it's time for that conversation. I mean, you talk about a 43-game on-base streak already this season. That ends last Saturday. Then he's turned around and he's been unconscious the last 2 games since that's happened. 3 out of the last 5 games he's had a leadoff homer? Northwestern State starts that game, leadoff home run. Tennessee game
Sunday.
3, leadoff home run. And then last night, leadoff homer. And the Tennessee Sunday game is one
that's the big one.
Lives in its own. I mean, he was unbelievable.
And you're starting to see him bring some of his personality out on the baseball field.
Yes.
Like after that hit Friday night where you hadn't really seen Curiel react to anything. It's been very much like low-key doing what he can to help the team, kind of like acting like a freshman, like be seen and not heard. And then he was heard very much on Friday night after he got that hit to tie the game against Tennessee. And it all came out. Like, this is why I came to college. This is like a moment that he knew was extremely important. And, I mean, everybody on the team said the same thing, including the head coach. Like, it's not really anybody else I want up in that spot. And you continue to see why.
No, I mean, and you can think that it's a little bit of an exaggeration. It's not. Like, as much talent as there is on this baseball team, Bear Jones, Daniel Dickinson, go down to Stephen Milam, Jake Brown. I mean, Josh Pearson, guys that have done it for years, have been in college baseball. I'm never more comfortable watching LSU play than when Derek Curiel's in the box at bat.
Yeah.
Like,
you could say, I mean, you could put Jared Jones on that list of like people you'd like to see come up in a big time spot. But Curiel has definitely earned that respect from, I think, everybody in the country and certainly everybody on the team. Like, Flow State. That 100%. Kid, like, it feels like every time he gets to the box, he's got to do something right.
Yeah.
Like, it's a surprise when he doesn't get a hit at this point.
No, definitely. Like, I mean, I think back to Friday night. Like, when it made its way around the lineup and it was 2 outs with him up, I was like, tie ball game. I mean, I thought he was going to win it. Like, I thought he was going to he was going to crank a double off the wall and they were going to score 2. But Beck doesn't make it all the way around to home. And Jared Jones ends up having the monster blast that went way back.
Back there.
Pucker
up. He was fired up for the Curiel pucker up.
He was.
Kiss that baby goodbye.
I wonder if he saw that guy do an impression of it. It was like, I've finally made it.
This dude can, I mean, like, you can make a living off of Len Rollins impressions.
Absolutely. Oh, Roddy was telling a story. There's somebody that writes down a new one every time he hears it.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I would love to look
you know how many
at that
baseball
list.
games that man's seen?
Baseball and softball, because Len does LSU softball.
Oh, I'm sure he changes it up a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, that's when he did the Crimson Tide.
Oh, yeah.
And that one to me, that was like my dad texted me. He's like, "Did you hear the Crimson Tide?
Part the Red Sea."
He's like, LSU softball couldn't part the Red Sea, but they did tame the Crimson Tide. And I was like, dude, this guy is unbelievable.
He's probably dangerous to drive like in front or behind or ride in the car with because he's just thinking about Lenisms.
Oh, 100%.
The entire time. Like, he's spaced out just driving. Like, you know what I could say? I'll use that one.
I would love, yeah. It's
gets in a wreck, person in the passenger seat goes through the windshield. You can pucker up and kiss that baby goodbye.
Baby on board.
Brian Burgess. Len Rollins is a national treasure. Amen.
He is.
He is. Blessed to have him. But like we said, LSU baseball handles business last night against Southeastern to stay in rhythm moving forward. Big one this weekend. As they head to College Station against A&M. Don't forget, we will be live in the studio watching the game Friday night before Lloyd heads across the pond. This will be his final piece of content for the next week or so. So he's headed to London the next day. So enjoy Lloyd while you can. Mm-hmm. So he'll be here today, tomorrow, Friday, and watch party.
I think it's like 6 p.m. over there right now. I'll be prime London Lloyd.
Yeah, you'll be.
I'll have some sports takes.
What's
it's like guy? 2 or 3.
Well, look it up. I don't know.
This guy, your soccer guy.
Soccer,
138.
Yeah. There you go.
138.
Yeah, that's perfect. It'll be right in the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah. We'll see if Christian can figure out the.
I'll be walking in the rain. I'm
The
sure.
jet lag won't be too bad.
No,
not at all.
Flying spirit.
Eating the fish and chippy.
Are you actually?
No.
I was about to say there's no way. But yes, we will have a watch party Friday night here watching LSU versus Texas A&M game number 1. Got some exciting stuff we're going to try to get rolling for that watch party. Tomorrow we're going to put together our list of things that we want to put on that challenge wheel, and we're going to get ourselves to Walmart and get it all, have it in here ready to roll.
Paintball gun?
Oh, man.
Dude, why not?
On the butt?
Well, you can put it wherever you... No, we're going to shoot people with it. No, you don't have to put it in your butt.
Shoot people with a paintball gun in here?
Yeah.
I thought it'd be like a punishment, like, all right, you have to take a paintball shot.
Yeah.
Drink paint?
I thought you were going to come in here just like...
just
memorabilia.
No, we're gonna get out there.
A little CO2, a couple of whippets, and a paintball gun.
Amen. So Friday night, make sure you join us. I think the game's at 6.
Oh,
6
Justin
p.m.
went over it yesterday in rally time. I can't remember.
And you don't remember it, do you?
Yeah.
I think it's at 6 p.m. on Friday. Let me see. Let me pull it up here.
It was because I was trying to show him the Greg Dykman home run that he's never seen before.
Are you serious? Yeah, 6 p.m. on Friday.
Had never seen it.
That's crazy.
486 feet.
No, it's crushed. I remember it.
6 p.m., 2 p.m., 1 p.m. LSU.
Oh, Saturday's at 2 p.m.?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Yeah, so 6 p.m. Friday, we'll be in here watching LSU baseball. We're going to see who all we can get in studio for Friday.
Dude it out.
We're going to have as many dudes in here as possible.
Invite your girlfriend.
Should I?
To a watch party.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Oh, wow.
A little eye candy for the crowd.
I don't think I can.
He wouldn't say a word.
No, dude.
Yeah,
you'd get put in this little box, bro.
That and I'd be scared to talk because Lloyd would turn everything I say into something else, and then I'd be really screwed.
Yeah, no, that is a scary situation to be in for you.
I've heard many a relationship.
Yeah. It would. I mean, that's going to be on the wheel for you to call and break up with her.
Yeah, gotta call her.
Oh, shit. That would be like...
Not good?
Nah.
Where's the date tonight?
Oh, we're just
hanging out.
Yeah.
Watching you.
Yeah.
Nice. You moved to Netflix and chill. I enjoy this. It's good for you.
We actually watch it? Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, they put TVs on the ceiling.
We listen to the show.
Yeah.
Lloyd.
It's like a podcast, but it's not.
Are you still there? Are you still there?
Are you still watching?
Continue watching?
Yes.
Actually, go back to episode 2.
Please.
We made it through half of episode 1.
But yeah, so we'll be in here Friday night, watch partying it up. So make sure you join us. And next week it'll be just me and Christian here, as we'll get Lloyd videoed in from across the pond.
That would be awesome.
But we'll see how Christian does in his first week. Kind of like a promotion.
Yeah.
You got a week of subbing in.
I can do it. The one thing I'm worried about is like the guests.
You're worried about that?
Yeah.
Like asking him questions?
No. Like getting him on screen, making sure the sound's right.
Well, that's why on Monday.
Call me.
We'll test it.
We'll get Lloyd, and that'll be our guest.
Okay.
And if it doesn't work,
it's going to be the Noah Tingle show.
Yeah,
Tingle and Co.
We're going to have to tingle and co it.
Tingle
We're just going to have to tingle and go all the way.
Sit and gum it.
Oh. I might get a haircut over there.
You're going to get a London haircut?
Uh-huh.
I don't know what that consists of.
Me
but
either. I'm looking at it right now.
They might do like really cool beard shaves. I have a feeling.
Whoa, they get aggressive.
Really? Well, you have to make content. That's what's for sure.
It's a lot of these tapers, and then
we showed your gorilla tweet on Twitter on the show yesterday.
That was great.
That was awesome.
Well, who y'all got?
The gorillas.
It was worth it.
It's you versus 100 gorillas. We're gonna take the gorillas every time.
Yeah.
So.
Are they in Peaky Blinders? Isn't in London? Is it?
It is.
Oh.
Or I don't know if it's in London, but England for sure. I've never watched it.
Or that's what you need to do. You need to show up in a full outfit.
I think they would like kick my ass.
Probably.
My culture isn't your costume.
You think if you wore a bunch of LSU stuff, you think you'd get a Go Tigers?
Yeah. I think not a bunch, but if I wore like a bit, like the hat always plays.
One over the entire trip.
Yeah, I think I'd get one. Over under.
Over under on what?
One Go Tigers if I wore like an
One
LSU
and a
hat
half.
every day.
Over.
Yeah.
Over on. I mean, if we're doing 1.5, I'm going over.
I'd say like 3.5.
I think 3.5 is a better line. I would still go over though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's global, man, worldwide. I just opened up Tiger Droppings, and first thread. You ready for this?
Absolutely.
Is there an opportunity to sit?
In gum?
No, not in gum.
Damn it.
I want you to guess which LSU baseball player is put in this question. Is there an opportunity to sit blank?
Milam.
Yes. You're 100% right.
Good Lord. Yeah. Do it.
And it was.
I wish that
bring him off the bench to close out games. The possible lineup would be Curiel in left field, Bear Jones first base, Jake Brown third base.
Why? How?
How many dislikes?
Is Jake Brown's
pretty sure he's
left-handed?
Yep.
Even if he's not, I mean, he's never played third base.
I don't know if now that it's funny when you think about it. I've watched him play all year. I don't know what arm he throws.
I don't know what arm he throws.
That's not really what I pay attention. I know he bats left-handed. That's when I watch.
Yeah, that's when I'm paying attention. So Jake Brown at third base, Dickinson at second base, Fry DH, Pearson in right, Braswell at short, Hernandez catcher, Stanfield center field. He said better offense.
He's a left-handed person.
Yet probably
through.
Like he can't play third base.
Real quick, let's bench Milam and see if Jake Brown can learn to throw right-handed.
Yeah.
At a position he's never played before.
And the first response is, holy shite. Milam is not sitting, dude. And your solution is to put a left-handed player at third base? I'm not sure which idea is worse, benching Milam or Brown at third. Surprised you didn't suggest starting Beck at shortstop.
I was going to say Guidry at short.
Fair enough. I wish I could downvote this one more than one time.
What time did he post that?
This was at 7:07 a.m. this morning.
Oh, well, started early.
Yeah, again, right after it. While we're at it, let's try Hernandez in center field.
See if we can construct the worst possible lineup.
That would be pretty fun.
Yeah.
Like for the last midweek game of the year.
Just throw it all
Just
out
put
there.
everyone in a
But it all has to be like your starters. So you just put them in positions that
I mean, Bear Jones is pitching.
Absolutely.
Milam at first.
Yep.
Or you can make Milam catch.
The catcher.
Milam catch.
That would be a funny visual.
That would be awesome. Bear Jones pitching to Milam.
Obviously, Jake Brown at shortstop, which I think he could do. He's just left-handed.
Yeah, he's just left-handed.
It'd be awkward.
And then first base would be Josh Pearson.
I would put Chris Stanfield at first.
Stanfield at first.
Just to you absolutely squander.
Braswell in center.
Yeah. or Hernandez.
And Hernandez in the outfield would be Hernandez.
Mm-hmm.
Braswell
Dickinson.
And then Curiel's at second.
Yep.
And then third base would be, we're missing one player. Would be
Pearson.
whoever's in. Yeah, would be Pearson.
Not the younger one. Another left-handed third baseman.
No. Dude, unbelievable. That'd be a heck of a lineup to throw out there. That'd be pretty awesome.
Jay, unconventional thinker.
LOL, Johnson played Bear at third. Might as well put Hernandez in the outfield.
Hey, we talked to Bear Jones about it. The story's unbelievable.
Really?
So he didn't know until he saw the lineup card because it was like a last-second decision.
Of course.
And so he has like, I don't know, an hour, 2 hours before the game, and they're not supposed to be on their phones, you know. As one does, get ready for competition. He snuck into his locker, went and got his phone, and started watching Nolan Arenado highlights on YouTube of how to play third base. He's like, he's like,
I can do this.
He goes, I can do that. I think I can do this.
Of course.
And he goes, third inning. I could not do this.
That's awesome. Because that's such that's.
What else do you do?
That's such a dude.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can do this.
It's like anything with your car breaks or something that you have to fix. Like, dude,
Oh my
I'll watch
gosh.
it on YouTube. I can do this.
I can make this happen.
Yeah, it is dude brain where it's like I could land a plane.
You can talk yourself into anything.
Anything.
We're
this
debating,
I actually have to do.
We're debating on Twitter 100 gorillas versus 100 men versus a gorilla. Like, what are we talking about?
It's just something people want to see, I think.
But when you sit there as a dude,
there's people,
and you think about it long enough, you start to convince yourself like.
If you put
I can
five
put a lineup
five
together.
guys in a room and pose that question, not all five are going to say a gorilla would absolutely win, and that's the problem with dude brain. Because it's a debate
that's the best part of it.
I guess that is the best part of it because it's absolutely absurd. That's a 2:30 a.m. cocaine question. That is.
I saw this dude on
We're going to
TikTok
figure this out.
that had a heck of a lineup of he put together just 10 guys that he thought would put together a fight against this gorilla.
Are they all time?
And he said just right now.
Because I pick
because I need to find it because it's.
I feel like I could do it in 15 if I had my selection.
You could put together a lineup of 15 guys.
15 people.
What are we talking? No.
Yes.
There's nothing you can do.
Think of the size of men we can pick.
Think of the size of a gorilla.
Yeah. And now 15 men.
So what happens so what do? You just try to go.
Here we go.
What's the fight? How's your strategy work?
I'd say you go 5 big MMA guys.
And you watch them die right in front of you.
10 offensive or defensive linemen.
Watch them get squished.
So this is his lineup of guys. John Jones, obviously. Tom Aspinall. So he's got 2 UFC guys. And then Eddie Hall, who I don't know if anybody's seen Eddie Hall. He's a behemoth. Mitchell Hooper, Thor Bjornsson, Myles Garrett. And then this is the funny one at 7. It's the one that really throws a loop in it. Joe Mazzulla, which would be the strategy guy, obviously, the Boston Celtics head coach.
Like that.
Brian Shaw, Francis Ngannou, and then this guy put himself in at 10. But, he put in these massive guys, and then he's got the director of it all, Joe Mazzulla, on the list as well. And he got corresponding shapes for each player, and he put them in a octagons with the gorilla in specific spots.
Oh, good. That's the Missoula effect.
Dude, literally, he broke
Where'd he
this
put
whole
Missoula?
thing. He broke this whole thing down. It's unbelievable.
I'm taking Jeffrey Dahmer, John Wayne Gacy, Ted Bundy. Give me the serial
Dahmer's
killers.
gonna try and fuck the gorilla.
Yeah. You get him sick somehow. What a little poison.
I'm gonna email you this video so you can play this guy breaking down how he will construct his team of 10 men to take down this silverback gorilla. Brian Burgess, my money's on the gorilla. Well, it should be. If we're gonna be legitimate about this conversation,
men,
the gorilla is going to win, Christian.
out of 100,
There's nothing you can do.
Dude, no. It's
What, are you gonna
100
hit? You to punch him in the nose? It's not like a.
No, you're just gonna maul him and try to everybody jump on him.
Yeah, but you're not gonna get everybody on him. The first person is dead. The second person is dead.
Sacrifices are gonna have to be made, but eventually the gorilla can't account for everybody. There's dudes jumping on his back, and he's worried about his back.
Y'all weigh in the chat.
He's throwing them into other people.
A gorilla's strong, but he's not taking down 100 people. He's also gonna get.
Do you want to see a gorilla fight one man?
Y'all weigh in in the chat of
I'd like
who
to see
y'all believe was 100 men or gorilla.
It's gonna go gorilla fights.
And at some point this week, we're gonna put together our list of LSU athletes.
We only need 25.
We only need 25.
Dude, 5 City or Mitchells could get it done.
You think so?
Maybe not.
Stephen Milo could crawl in between his legs.
See? you could really have fun with it. Let's see. 100 men. I'm putting a poll up right now. Gorilla. Start poll. Y'all vote on it.
No weapons.
Who wins? 100 men. There's no weapons. It's just straight up hand-to-hand combat. 100 men versus a gorilla. Glimmer for that. Ron McGill said about 50 people could cover and smother him out. Too much weight. Christian is right.
Now you put 50 more on top of that.
He's going to mow through
30.
the first 30.
Quickly.
Not even break a sweat. The gorilla's just going to take out the first.
And then
30
you have
dead.
to think that these people that saw what just happened, whenever you have a gorilla ripping off the limbs of people right in front of you in the streams, that you hear. And
yeah, but there's no back. We're assuming that the people in this are not backing down. Like humanity is on the line.
That's just not how it works, though.
It's the last Planet of the Ape versus the last 100 humans. And you just have to go all in.
Have you seen Planet of the Apes?
I've seen a couple. I haven't seen like the full.
Do you know how fast a gorilla is?
Yeah, it was a fast animal.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. Right now we're 56%, 62% gorilla.
Yeah, good. Thank God. Smart chat. But I do entertain the question.
Whiskey Bay, 100 R. Kellys beat one gorilla.
100 what?
R. Kellys.
Drip, drip, drip.
He's just gonna try and piss on the gorilla.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna happen.
Yeah. See, I mean, Brian Bird's 100 big, strong men. I'd put my money on them.
I don't think you need 100 of those guys. I think you need 25 and then a bunch
25?
of 25.
Look how fast this look at this gorilla.
Give me 25 Jared Jones and then 75 just
Dude, look at this thing.
Look
Do
at
you
it.
see that?
Look at that gorilla.
Okay,
This
I
isn't
think
even like
100 men standing in a cluster.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
Look,
people.
he's gonna attack. Oh, that was only number 4.
That was only video number 4.
Oh, is this
I feel like at some point this is going to get inappropriate.
I want to see one fight though.
Look at that thing.
Look
dude.
at that. That's a gorilla.
Oh my gosh!
You get in there. Look, oh.
Come on. Dude,
Look, they got
100
good
people
strategy.
can Take that out.
Watch how fast it gets.
This is so funny. I've never seen this before.
Oh,
I mean,
see
look
that?
at that.
You're dead.
Like, gone. That's 4 people dead. Like one swift move.
I'll be over here watching.
Yeah,
The silverback will use the first body he tears apart to beat the other 99.
Yeah, 1,000%.
He's
Now
not
he
that
has a
smart.
weapon.
He's
Literally.
not that smart.
Yeah, they are. They're
I mean, they don't have. They're not human smart.
They
But they're
wouldn't use
smart.
that-
They're
they wouldn't use a
they're
body
as
a
close
weapon.
as you
They'd
can
kill it
get.
and throw it or eat it.
He's trying to get. He's
They
trying to
wouldn't
eat.
use a body. Of course, they would use a body as a weapon.
Maybe.
He's trying.
That's not even like that. Doesn't take any.
No.
That's just like, oh, this is now a stick,
Yeah.
and I can
Yeah.
hit somebody with
Maybe.
it.
Have you seen Planet trying to get? Oh, he got a baby.
Twen-
Oh. that's what he's going for.
Can we see
25 Randy Orton's got that easy.
No, there's just no way.
I don't know. A gorilla will eat his own poop. You don't think he'll eat 100 men?
Yeah, and throw it at you.
Yeah, I mean, look, he could take guys out with just a 100-mile-per-hour fastball of just dung straight at their dome, you know?
He can't. His throwing form isn't good enough to throw 100 miles per hour.
Yeah, but he's strong enough.
He doesn't have an elbow.
God, they are built like
Dude, I mean, they're massive.
stand between 4 and 6 feet tall. Not today.
I don't understand how this is so one-sided.
But then they weigh
Like, I genuinely think this is a
485
50-50
pounds.
question.
There's
Like,
no
like,
way
we'll
it's
never know
50-50.
until it happens.
What's the poll? Where's the poll at?
They should like if this
68% people in the chat believe it's the gorilla.
if this was
But I think that's also because 2 are against 1 on the show, so a lot of people are
yeah,
swayed.
they're
around.
they're listening to logic and reason.
Yeah.
I'm giving you logic and reason.
Can you pull that? I emailed you that video of this guy breaking down his list of 10 and his strategy on how they're going to beat the gorilla.
Did you see the 100 men versus 1 gorilla simulation?
Yeah, and the gorilla mowed through all 100. Like it was nothing.
The people were so like
Scared.
Dude,
they were
like,
stupid. They were like,
Well,
they
yeah.
didn't- it was a simulation. It was
Dude.
screwed up. But it was 100 people he had to go through. It took him a while, even on the simulation.
Well, that's because it takes a little bit longer than you'd like.
I just that gorilla dude, it's crushing everybody.
Okay, would you?
This guy's a
allow me
Celtics
to
fan
pick
for
25
sure.
Definitely.
People,
Do what?
would you allow me to pick 25 people and then the?
I'll let you
other
get on that
75 are
whiteboard right there.
5'9", 190
Get on that whiteboard right there and make your list of 25 right now.
all time.
Right now, all time.
All right.
Make a list of 25 people while Lloyd's going to play this video, and you're going to list out your 25.
To take a gorilla in a fight. And let me explain how. First, let's go over the situation. All of these men
This guy's a lisp.
as they are. This is current. This is not in their prime. That's why I'm not doing Chuck Norris, Brock Lesnar, or anybody that's not currently alive. Second of all, we're going to have an octagon that is 60 feet in diameter. This is twice the diameter as a normal UFC octagon. Third of all, Joe Mazzulla is in charge of prep. He's in charge of our plan of attack. Where will we be spaced in the arena? The gorilla's going to be in the middle. We will be spaced around it, and there are no weapons. Men will wear normal clothes, the clothes on their back. For the plan of attack, there's going to be 4 distinct groups with 4 different jobs. The first group is going to be Eddie Hall, Hathor Jorgensen, and Brian Shaw. And they are the tanks. They're going to be the front line of defense. Because these 3 men are probably together about as strong as a gorilla. And this is where they're going to be spaced. Each at different points so the gorilla cannot get away from one of them. And their only job is some form of containment. I know they can't actually contain it, but it's just keep the gorilla occupied. Group 2 is going to be John Jones, Tom Aspinall, and Francis Ngannou. This is where they're going to be. This is Francis, this is Tom, and this is John Jones. Tom and Francis, their only objectives are to go for the eyes, blind the gorilla, and hurt it. And John Jones, I don't know if you guys know this, gorillas and humans, they're pretty similar. If he comes up behind here and kicks it in the nuts, it's going to hurt, it's going to get a reaction. It might even immobilize the gorilla.
Immobilize.
The next group is going to be Mitchell Hooper and Myles Garrett. 2 really strong, really big, really athletic, fast guys. And once the gorilla can't see and it's in a little bit of pain and it might be a little occupied already with everything else that's going on, they're going to rush in and try to actually immobilize and somewhat hold down the gorilla.
Ridiculous.
I mean, like, and the worst part is, I was kind of he started to win me over.
No. He made the cage 60 feet. They're going to run in from 60 feet away.
Hey.
A gorilla.
Christian's hard at work over there. Continue, Lloyd.
I just was looking up the strength of a gorilla. First of all, the size. 6 feet tall, 500 pounds. They can lift or throw objects exceeding 2,000 pounds. A bite force around 1,300 psi, significantly higher than that of a lion, which is 600 psi. If he bites you, you're dead.
Yeah. No.
Try to reach for his eyeballs, he's going to bite your hand off. It's ridiculous. And now I do want to see it happen.
Hey, who's the old Buccaneers D tackle that coaches at Colorado?
Warren Sapp.
And Ndamukong Suh, you have him?
No, I did not.
You
Christian's
should.
working on his list over there. No, I mean, do you think that you could find 100 willing men to do it?
No. Yes, well, in Roman times, this would be a great gladiator punishment.
Oh, 100%.
Like, you put all of the, the rapers, robbers, thieves, non-taxpayers, and a gorilla.
Yeah.
And people would go watch Bloodsport. I mean, they already did it. They used to love that shit. Like,
they used to eat it up.
Oh, watch, he's going to now there's a lion in the cage. Like, this is not a fair fight. You're supposed to be fighting each other.
I mean, because really the point would be, if you win, like if you survive, you're going to get all this money. Like, because people are going to, like Mr. Beast will probably put a bunch of money into it. Dana White would be all over it, putting money into it. And then you get all the TV revenue. Like, people would make millions of dollars if they survive. P-Dub, ChatGPT says 4 Bosas equal 1 gorilla.
Oh.
I'm Team Christian. Gladiators against the gorilla led by Maximus. Christian, what number are you at over there?
12.
Okay. It's halfway there.
You got Ben Wallace as his first pick.
Pretty good pick.
Yeah.
Huh?
Decent pick.
You've got a lot of – it's a real strong mix of football players and UFC fighters.
There's only a few.
And there's 2 basketball players.
Got the mountain.
The mountain. You need to get into the WWE realm. That's what you really need. Need some WWE guys.
Well, Joey Bosa was a good pick. He'd be very motivated.
Yeah. I agreed with you too soon on that.
Yeah, I mean, he would survive.
Yeah,
He'd
no,
be the last
definitely.
one.
Yeah, you need a strategy guy. You definitely need one strategy guy.
He would be the motivation guy.
Brian, I don't know where I got this shirt. I got it online somewhere. I get Lloyd to check the tag.
Did you see this article by Hunt Palmer?
Let's see. What's this called? Shockaware.
Nice.
SHAKA.
No free ads.
Where?
Do you see how the Missouri sweep could actually be bad for LSU?
How could it be bad for LSU?
Because of it actually hurts your resume after a sweep versus a Missouri team that is defeated still. And so he lays out why that this is it. For years, benchmarks like 14 wins would get you in, 17 wins. And 17 wins locks up a host spot, 20 wins guarantees the top 8 have been used to prognosticate Memorial Day seeding. It doesn't always work like that. Mississippi State, 17 league games last year, beat Ole Miss in a midweek and won 2 games in Hoover. 20 wins. They had to go to Charlottesville for a regional. 2023, Arkansas won 20 SEC games and didn't even host a regional because of a poor RPI. What if three league wins actually hurts LSU's case? Every year the SEC produces bad baseball teams. South Carolina is bad. Missouri is not bad. They're historically inept. The Tigers from the Midwest are 0-21 in SEC play. They've been run-ruled in 10 of 21 games. That's almost half the games that they've played. They've been outscored 240-81, and their RPI is 153, 98 spots worse than the SEC's 15th place team in South Carolina. It's nearly impossible to have an RPI of 153 with a number 10 strength of schedule. So that's where it hurts LSU and all of these things. Because if you look at LSU's resume compared to Vanderbilt, Auburn, Tennessee, LSU obviously 36-9, Vanderbilt 31-13, Auburn 30-14, Tennessee 35-9. Strength of schedule for LSU 36. Strength of schedule for Vanderbilt 3. Strength of schedule for Auburn 1. Strength of schedule for Tennessee 34. LSU's RPI is 9. Vanderbilt's 3. Auburn's RPI is 4. Tennessee RPI is 10. And so when you start looking through, put all of those factors together, and it depends a little bit on how Tennessee, Auburn, Vanderbilt finish out the year. This is not likely,
right?
That LSU doesn't end up hosting a regional, but he was laying it out as if a different way to think about it because of how bad Missouri is. So you actually need to start rooting for Missouri
to win games.
I was kind of on the camp of wanting to see them go defeated,
and I think they might. But
I think a huge matchup this weekend.
Is South Carolina this weekend?
I think it's this weekend.
We might have to watch part. What time is that on Friday?
I don't know if it'll be on TV.
Into it. That's very true. Let's see. We need Pana to make that happen. Get that on the TV. Let's see.
You go get.
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah. Let's see. It's Florida and South Carolina this weekend.
The next weekend.
So next weekend, we'll see about that. John Eads just got here to join us. Christian's at 21 of his 25 people, and we will take a quick break, get John set up, and be right back.
Red Stick Sports, a local staple in Baton Rouge to all sports fans, was founded back in 1981 and has remained a family business for over 40 years. Today, they still have the great selection on the floor, but they're also a leader in custom apparel for businesses, sports teams, and other groups. Take it from us, everybody over here at FM Digital Media. They help us out with all of our apparel. Let them help you out today. Go ask for Cody over at Red Stick Sports. Check him out online at redsticksports.biz.
The Jordy Culotta Show is brought to you by A-Bears Lawn Maintenance. Commercial or residential, A-Bears Lawn Maintenance is ready to work. A-Bears can tackle all your homeowners association requirements. Call Blake at 225-485-8022. A-Bears Lawn Maintenance.
Are you looking for sound financial advice? Then get in touch with Daniel Newman of Edward Jones. You can call him today at 225-261-8262 or email him daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. If you're planning for retirement, saving for college for children or grandchildren, or just looking for sound investment opportunities, get in touch with Daniel today, 225-261-8262, located on Magnolia Square Drive in Central. Daniel Newman of Edward Jones.
Well, the Oscar Andrews Sports Medicine Institute collaborative effort was an idea from Dr. Andrews and myself to bring together two great names, the Andrews name and the Ochsner name, to elevate the quality of care for athletes in the state of Louisiana, where he's from.
I always thought I would come back to Louisiana and practice orthopedics with my subspecialty being sports medicine. This was an opportunity through Ochsner's to come back and work the entire state to help develop and take sports medicine to a new level.
As an orthopedic surgeon, what this means in the future in terms of, access for our community to the type of care that Dr. Andrews pioneered, words can't describe how valuable that is.
Ochsner has a great opportunity here to really grow, and Dr. Burnham, of course, is the mainstay of making that happen. If you want to have first-class sports medicine care, check in with Dr. Burnham and his group, and you'll be more than impressed and pleased.
Fourier Insurance Agency, established in 1946, helping you with your home, auto, commercial, life and health insurance needs. around in Baton Rouge at 4275 Government Street and online at 4EAagency.com. Whatever insurance you're in the market for, home, auto, commercial, contractors, life, and health, get in touch with 4EA Insurance Agency, 4EAagency.com, or give them a call at 225-383-0682. 4EA Agency.
Get Gordon. And get it done, yeah. Everybody know Gordon in a 225. He done leave with big foe. He got buku ties, Ferrari sliding, flying in a new coupe ride. And every time I ride by, I see a brand new sign. I'm with Gordon, I know that he gon' get it done. Whether it's a big truck crash or a hit and run, recovery funds, he fighting to get a ton. Mike Epps, man, we all about the Benjamin. Handling injuries, man, are you kidding me? Gordon McKernan, that's champion energy. Yeah, family man with a family plan. Get Gordon, he gon' fix it like a handyman. Gordon, and get it done.
Welcome to Trifecta.
Trifecta Sports Therapy in Baton Rouge. Recover, repair, restore. At Trifecta, they believe in total body wellness. Trifecta gets the body back to its full potential. Whether you're a youth or pro athlete, a pre or postnatal mom, or if you lead an active lifestyle or a senior citizen, Trifecta has the class, the sports massage, the sports therapist, the stretch therapist, or the equipment like infrared sauna, cold plunges, and golf simulators to find your best. Find Trifecta online at trifectasportstherapy.com or check out the beautiful facility today, 8221 Goodwood. Trifecta Sports Therapy.
Hey, Tiger fans, when traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, make sure to visit us, Tom and Wright Granning, at Go Mart on the Go Deli.
Go Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need on your trip.
Located at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on your left.
Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff,
where everyone is family.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions at sunequip.com.
Watch out.
All right, welcome back here. Hour number 2 officially underway. Christian has completed his list of compiling 25 names of, looks like a bunch of NFL, UFC, there's a boxer, there's a couple LSU, there's an LSU football player, a real hodgepodge group of guys that he thinks can take down.
No chemistry.
No chemistry at all, especially number 19 on that list. But y'all see it in a little bit as we have been joined by WAFB's own John Eads, filling in for his boss man this morning, who wasn't able to make it on at 8 a.m. for his weekly. But the hardest working man in Baton Rouge joins us once again. Good to see you. It's been a while.
Good to see y'all. Yeah, it has. Apologies for that, but
no problem at all.
Thanks for having me in, man. Excited to talk a little baseball here. I think Jacques had a long day yesterday. He was golfing before he ended up anchoring our 2 shows, so I think he was busy for 17 of the 24 hours in the day yesterday, which is not a lot different from any other days. So probably need to sleep in a little bit. Yeah. It was cool though. It looked like Will Helmers was there, and McMahon, and Garrett Nussmeier, and
Ro Davey, a bunch of guys.
That's awesome.
So, yeah,
that's awesome. Well, we appreciate you coming in once again. Obviously, like we said, it's been a while. Last week was a roller coaster of a week for LSU baseball, just going from the Alabama weekend, or really we'll say the last couple of weeks, Auburn sweep. You get swept by Auburn. You go to you take care of business against Alabama. Then you get run ruled by Northwestern State. Then you turn around. You beat Tennessee in a series at home. Talk about this last month or this last 2 weeks of LSU baseball.
Yeah, it's been everyone thinks the month has been so bad. Like yesterday before the game, I was kind of looking back because it feels like there's been a lot of bad moments in the past 29, 30 days.
Right.
But when you look at the schedule, they started the month sweeping Oklahoma, like you mentioned, and then they won a series against Alabama. And there's a lot more W's than L's on the slate from the month of April than people think. I think they just, maybe we overreacted or just get so focused on what they did at Auburn and how poorly collectively they played that weekend, because it was kind of a rare situation in which you saw them play 3 not bad games in a row, but not up to their standard and not to a winning standard, I guess, 3 games in a row.
I just don't think, people didn't expect a sweep.
Yeah, because it hadn't happened all year to that point. And, you kind of forget about good things when one bad thing happens, and that kind of takes over and controls what you think about and how you remember recent history, I guess. But to end it with a series win against Tennessee was incredible, and I really liked what Derek Curiel said after the game on Sunday. You guys probably played it on your Monday show about how Coach has done such a great job over the past 3 weeks. Like, it's easy when you're winning games and you're on a big win streak for coaches to be, good with the players, energetic, passionate, but it's when things start to kind of get off the train tracks that you figure out how good of a coach they really are, how good of a person they really are. And for Curiel to kind of gush about Coach Johnson the way he did for the better part of 2 minutes and the job he's done and how he's held the team together was awesome. So, yeah, it was a very up and down week, about as up and down as you can get, losing to Northwestern State. But I looked this up before the Tennessee series. Historically, how have Coach Johnson's LSU teams done after a midweek loss? In 23, they lost a couple midweek games. They won every SEC series that followed. That was 22, I'm sorry. 23, they lost a couple midweek games as well, and they swept whoever they were playing SEC-wise after that. Last year, they only lost 1 midweek game. It was the Southern, and they didn't end up winning that next series. But, I think there's a larger sample size of Coach Johnson's teams responding well to some very bad moments. And he said after the game last Tuesday that the loss to the Demons could have nothing to do with the weekend. And you see it in baseball all the time. You lose a midweek, you come back, you win a big series. And that's exactly what they did. And I think they got some great momentum now heading into May.
Yeah, definitely. Talk to me about this weekend, this past weekend, where you got Friday night where it's supposed to start at 6:30 and it ends up being 9:50 first pitch. And,
story of the year.
Right, and then at 1:20 a.m. you've got a walk-off home run, and that turns into a loss on Saturday and then a run rule walk-off on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
What did you see from the Tigers against Tennessee that stood out the most?
Saw a lot of good against a really good team as well. So you kind of forget, like when you see Derek Curiel go 0 for 4, or, I don't know, you see them only put up 3 runs on Saturday. I mean, it's easy to forget that Tennessee is also a team that has national championship aspirations.
Right.
So, sometimes you just got to tip your cap. Like, there's not always a reason or a solution for everything. Sometimes you're just outmatched in certain situations, especially baseball, the amount of mistakes you can make and the amount of games you play and all that. I guess the biggest takeaways were definitely the offense finding its stride in the 9th inning on Friday, and then the whole day on Sunday. That was the best they'd looked in a hot minute, and that carried in to Tuesday, obviously. The other thing, and I think the most intriguing thing, is Jay always talks about early in the season, this is our team now, and this is how I envision it looking. And I'm always kind of racking my brain trying to get inside of his head and think about what could he be forecasting or predicting here. And I think Kaysen Evans being a starter was one of those things, because in a lot of the press conferences and media availabilities, he talks about this player. if these guys can turn it on, it completely changes our team. And he'll be referring to a Jacob Myers or a Maverick Rizzi. And I think we're starting to see why he's been saying those things, because if they can slot Casey Evans in as a day 3 starter and keep Zach Cowan, or you can interchange Cowan and Evans, whatever it is, and you can find someone to, or some people to piecemeal together the production that Evans provides, there's not a Casey Evans 2.0. You're never going to find him. There's one in the country. Everybody wants to have him. LSU's got him. So how can you kind of hold on to him, if you will, for that day 3? Like if you're in a regional or a super regional, you got to get that 3rd win to advance to the next round of the tournament. And he's going to be your guy to get that 3rd win. You need to make sure you win the first 2 games. So someone's got to be able to come in on the Friday, on the Saturday, for example, and put together those outs in those clutch, high-leverage situations so that you do get to that game 3 and you do win the game. So you don't feel like you have to put Evans in to win. So it was nice to see that Evans did that, because that was his first career start, and he threw 6 innings. That was a career high. So you know that he can do it. I mean, obviously we all had a belief that he could start and do well, but you actually saw it. Now it's a matter of Schmidt, Rizzi, Benj, Myers, like this whole list and cast of characters, who among them can step up individually or as a group to put together the 2 or 3 innings that Evans would give you on a Friday to lock up a win. If they can find that, this is a Omaha team without a doubt. That was my biggest takeaway.
No, I think Sunday was huge from both of those standpoints. Offensively, to see the bats start to get to work and see to them get back in that rhythm. And I love to see that roll over to the midweek last night, where they were able to continue that momentum. And as much as we can kind of title midweek games as not meaning as much, we kind of got attitude adjusted last Tuesday. And so it gets your perspective straight on the rhythm they were able to go in. Derek Curiel, his last 2 games, 6 for 6, 2 homers, 6 RBI, and has just been absolutely unconscious. And not only the best freshman in the country, one of the best players in the country.
Without a doubt, yeah. 2-year player. I hate to remind everybody about that, but like, he's not a freshman. Like right now, he is a sophomore, I think is like kind of fair to say, because his next year would be his last year in college, and whatever. After the game on Saturday, we were sitting waiting for Coach Johnson in the press room meeting room where we do the post-game stuff, and I was looking at the box score, and I was like, Derek Curiel didn't get on base. Doesn't that end his 43-game streak, guys? And everyone was like, oh my gosh, it does. And that was very out of character for him. And that is really probably a reason why LSU struggled offensively, because he's such a huge part of what they do. The way he sets the table for Jared and Daniel and everybody behind is him just being an automatic base runner, whether it's a walk or a single, or lately he's been hitting homers, which is
leadoff homers.
Yeah. They don't succeed, really, I don't think, as a team unless he does individually, just because he does a lot of things for them on both sides. And, obviously after the game on Sunday, we asked him, hey, your on-base streak ended. Did you know about it? Did you think about it? He said he was aware of it. He doesn't really care about it, but you just know that, that's awesome. And you take a lot of pride in that. And he takes a lot of pride in what he does. And the response has been phenomenal. 4 hits on Sunday. Like, he stole the show. He and Casey Evans absolutely took that game over. Like, when you really peel the layers back on what you remember from Sunday, it's a lot of Casey Evans strikeouts from the 2nd inning to the 6th inning, and it's whatever Derek Curiel was doing at the plate, because he was on one. He was a triple shy of a cycle. It's just
early.
Unbelievable.
First 3 at-bats.
Yeah. He's unreal,
homer,
man.
double, single.
And there's some people out there that still aren't convinced he's going to be the SEC Freshman of the Year. Like, you see it on X. I know Lloyd's probably saw it. People posting pictures of guys from, like, Texas and some of these other schools. So I'm sure very good players. And they're like, oh, this guy's going to win SEC Freshman of the Year. And then everybody in the comments, have you heard of Derek Curiel? Are you aware of who he is? It's got to be him. He's leading off for one of the best programs in the country, doing so at a high clip. We keep waiting for him to have his struggle and his slump. I guess his slump is one bad game, which you'll take that, 1 out of 56. I think he's a surefire candidate to be the SEC Freshman of the Year. And the freshman moniker is dangerous because he's not playing like a freshman. He hasn't played like a freshman all year. So just a rare talent. And that's why Jay Johnson's been recruiting him since 7th grade. I mean, that's, 5-6 years back? He's probably known him before that time even. I feel like a lot of people just from the West Coast watched him growing up, saw how special he was, and forecasted what he could be if he puts on some weight and just obviously matures physically. And I think he's definitely exceeded expectations. A special player that was a huge get for LSU. He probably should be playing AA baseball right now.
Definitely.
But I think he's happy where he's at.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the reaction he had on Friday. I mean, he hits that single to tie the game up in the bottom of the 9th, and it was like, that was to me like seeing him in that celebration on first base, because he's a guy that's not the most emotional.
He's not. Yeah, he's very humble.
Right.
And just because you celebrate doesn't mean you're humble. I mean, that was an awesome moment.
Yeah, he let it all. He kind of let it all out.
Yeah.
Like he's a very quiet, kind of kept to himself guy. He let it all. It was kind of like confirming his decision. You know?
I think so.
I got it right.
If you go to a minor league game and there's a rain delay, they push it back to 9 o'clock, and I don't know, no shade to Biloxi, but Biloxi per se. You think that many people are hanging around till 1 a.m. to watch? No, it's just different here,
100%.
So that was an awesome moment for him and for the program, because recruits see that and they're like, dang,
yes,
I want to be a part of that,
It's another card in Jay Johnson's pocket.
Mm-hmm. Everything is, really. I mean, they're on national TV all the time. Yep. Their media and creative team does a great job. A lot of good opportunities. Now, they are taking the bus to Texas A&M. They do one bus trip a year, so that's probably
good from camaraderie.
But
yeah,
a
little team building.
Yeah, get to bed. I don't wonder who picks the movie.
It's funny. There's a couple of ticks there before we talked to Dickinson yesterday, and he said he was going to go home and watch a movie after the game. So we were like, hey, what kind of movies do you like? Disney, action, not horror though.
Right.
Hates horror movies.
Good man.
So
yeah, we want positivity going through that brain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Except West Coast guy.
So if he's picking not a horror movie.
Not a horror movie.
I love horror movies personally, but
it was a horror movie for Tennessee Friday night.
Yep.
In the bottom of the 9th. Bear Jones has had a rough month, where he's just kind of kept looking up at that screen and seeing that average tick down and tick down, tick down. Couldn't find his rhythm, and it seemed like he took all of his anger out on that baseball in the bottom of the 9th when he shot it 452 feet into the night sky. Talk about what that hit meant for Jared, for LSU, and just kind of putting them in the position where they are now, where you feel a whole lot different this Wednesday than you did last Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really, when we were talking to him after the game, I kind of was standing there and I was just kind of like, how do I say this? Secondhand happy for him.
Right.
Because of the week he had. Like Tuesday was, just talk about nightmares.
Oh my gosh.
That had to be awful for him, as a guy that is regarded as one of the best college baseball players in the country. And I know he takes a lot of pride in what he does. And, that was kind of embarrassing for him, I'm sure. Like he said it on the interview you guys did with him and Mic'd Up, which was great, by the way.
I appreciate it.
I'm sure he wasn't feeling great, like making these mistakes, not comfortable in a position he typically plays. And what's he going to do? Like tell coach, no, I'm not playing third. I don't want to go out there and embarrass myself.
And he's done it in a couple of situations. That's what I think people don't realize, is that it's not the first time he's been trotted out there.
Yeah.
He's played third before. It just wasn't in a starting capacity to where people could actually marinate in it for 3, 4, 5 innings, to where you're like, oh, you keep seeing him out there. Like he's done that when Jay has made moves around to get other people in the game to be able to pinch hit. Bear Jones has played third, and you put Jake Brown at first, and it hasn't looked bad. So he had like a legitimate sample size to make that decision. It wasn't just off of a whim. It wasn't let's see what he does when he goes out to third base. Like, you don't do that. It was a position that he's played before, and he thought he could do it. Didn't work out, but that's not the worst thing you can do in baseball, is try to put together an offense.
Yeah.
Make an offensively based lineup when you're struggling offensively. That's what Jay was trying to get some more bats in the lineup. But from that to have the moment he had on Friday, where he's been a part of national championship teams, he's been through the struggles of last year, where he was a part, like he played a good bit as a freshman, and then he kind of had this dip in his season, and then he couldn't really bounce back from it, and he became kind of played his way out of the lineup, and it got to a point where Jay was even like, hey, for 2024, he's like, I know I said you're my starting first baseman. That's not guaranteed.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know what to tell you, but it's like that's the first time in his life where he felt like, damn, I've never not played.
Yeah.
And to have that kind of like come to Jesus and see what he's doing this year, and to have that moment in Alec Box on a Friday night at 1 a.m., I would imagine was pretty special for him.
Mm-hmm. I was just happy for him because I'm sure that, Wednesday and Thursday were tough, just replaying those moments in your head and trying to move on from it. And he didn't really have a great game at the plate before that hit on Friday. I think he broke up the no-hitter, which was good, but it wasn't like he was smashing it, and then he did that. And it was great, just the ups and downs of baseball. But I do want to say, Derek mentioned this after the game Sunday, he singled out Jared as a guy that led a meeting with the team that week, I believe, after that loss, holding them together. That's the first time I've really heard one individual get shouted out for kind of taking control of the team, because before the narrative was that everyone kind of takes care of their own responsibilities. Everybody is for the team on their own. But you didn't really know like who the one guy is that everybody's looking to. And now you know that it's Jared, because Derek said that they all look up to him. They understand the success he's had in the past, and he's kind of like their mentor. And it's cool to see him kind of taking over, because he was a part of those ups and downs last year, and they were, I would say, much lower lows than this team has seen. So to have that one glue guy holding this thing the way that he is, I think is great. And it manifested itself into some more great moments this weekend. So great for Jared. Had another good outing on Tuesday. I think that he's starting to maybe find that feel again. I think he still is trying to work on the swing and miss, the chasing stuff. But if he's going to give you some swings like that, I think you'll live with it.
No, 100%.
Also, I want to say he made an error on Saturday defensively where he didn't get in front of the ball.
Oh, yeah.
But Sunday,
tried to backhand it.
Similar situation, got in front of it, stopped it, and that's really been his one bad moment from a first base standpoint defensively all year. So I think defensively he's been great.
Yeah, he's been outstanding.
Good adjustment there.
Chase Shores, I think, is an interesting name for LSU baseball, because you talked about earlier, talking about the pitching, and you've got the four guys that you are confident in every time they're on the mound.
Mm-hmm.
One of the names of the fifth or sixth guy is undoubtedly Chase Shores. And what have you thought of his season up to this point and kind of his role moving forward?
I think he could be one of those guys, because the stat line's not great, but what he gives you is swing and miss, great stuff. And that's why he had continued to get so many opportunities. He wasn't going deep into games. Like every Sunday I woke up and I was like, all right, Chase Shores starting. I would just love to see him go 5 or 6 innings and look dominant. And it just hasn't been there all year. But that could be his role, is out of the bullpen and coming in getting, 9 outs. Can you give me 5 or 6 strikeouts? He can do that for you. Haven't seen it yet. He's only done the one bullpen thus far, right? Or maybe it's 2 now, I guess. Yeah, he did it against Bama, and then he was in there briefly on, was it Friday or Saturday this past? I don't think
Saturday.
Yeah. Because I went upstairs to edit some things during the game super quick, and I came down. He was out there a little bit. The potential's there, but, I'm kind of done at this point predicting it and saying what it could be, because I keep kind of kicking the can down the road. I'm walking in the desert on a 1-lane highway. All right, he can do it. Kick the can. Next week comes, you walk up to the can, you kick it again. He's got to turn it on. I got to see it. I've been saying it since the Biloxi scrimmage in October and November of last year. Like, he's not great now, but he has the tools. He's got to put it all together. Still haven't seen it. With that said, though, some guys just put it all together out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you think of Thatcher Hurd last year, Kate Anderson a little bit, and Hoover, Will Helmers, Nate Ackenhausen, like so many different guys, Gavin Guidry, maybe have some tough moments in the regular season, but for whatever reason, when the stakes get higher and then the games get bigger and the lights get brighter, they come out of nowhere and have dominant performance. So he might be one of those guys. I think William Schmidt's one of those guys. And he has not had, some super bad moments. Like yesterday, he struck out 7 guys.
Yeah.
7 of his 10 outs were strikeouts. And he's a guy that can kind of have one of those days where he just goes on a heater. And I think Chase Shores is the same way. But I want to see it, His bullpen appearances haven't necessarily inspired a ton of confidence. So maybe this weekend he gets in there and he gives you a couple good innings.
That would be massive.
Yeah, but I'm looking for, you guys talked about it earlier, Devin Sheeran. This sounds like a very real thing. Like last year, we floated around the possibility of Shores pitching in Omaha. Of course, they didn't make it, but they were close. Sheeran is already throwing live simulated games. He's out there in the outfield. Jay Johnson said he was pondering putting him in yesterday.
Yeah.
Situation didn't come up, but I think this is a very real thing. And he throws triple digits, a lot of strikeouts, as y'all said. So,
well, we appreciate all your insight, of course. We have Nick Underhill joining us from NewOrleans.football. You are welcome to sit in and stay and listen in.
I think everybody wants some Saints information at this moment.
Of course. As the draft was last Thursday, the Saints make their selections at 9, 40, and so on. But pick number 40 is the one that everyone is interested in. Nick, good to see you. Appreciate you joining us this morning. Got him. Go one more time.
How you guys doing?
There he is. There it is. Perfect. We'll start with pick number 40 instead of pick number 9. The Saints go get their guy in Tyler Shuck. We talked about it leading up to the draft that they were obviously high on him, and they make that selection. What were your thoughts on that pick, and where the Saints are at the quarterback position as a whole?
Yeah, we're going to see how it goes. I mean, I think it makes the Saints incredibly interesting that they have a new head coach who's building an offense and goes out and picks the quarterback for that offense, and now he's going to build it around them. And whether they sink or swim, like watching that process, I think is going to be fascinating, and it makes them, really, really interesting going into the season. I think Shuck does some things really well. If you actually take the time to watch him play and don't just watch the combine clip and the underhand throwaway clip, like you're going to see some good plays, and it's not going to seem like an insane decision. I think he has a really good arm. Like his base, like the way he just kind of goes through his mechanics throwing the ball is incredibly polished. He looks like a really well coached individual. Has the arm to make all the throws. Some of his big time throws, I would say his 10 best big time throws are probably better than anybody else's 10 best big time throws in this draft class. I think the problem with him is when you put him into messy situations, sometimes he looks like a player who has literally seen what the next hit can do to his career. He's broken 2 clavicles, had a broken leg, and sometimes he plays like a guy with the knowledge of actually knowing that the next hit could be his last. And sometimes you see him throw the ball away a lot. I counted 31 throwaways last year after going through every throw he made. 26 of them were under pressure. I don't know if that's just his fight or flight reaction or if it's something he was told to do. Maybe they coached him to this. Maybe he played the season knowing that an injury could cost him his NFL dream and was a little bit more cautious than usual. I don't know. These are things I'm looking forward to being able to ask him. Sometimes you'll see him panic in those situations a little bit, though. Or, I think you'll see him kind of throw the ball and turn his back instead of, being willing to take that hit and get everything on it, and he'll short arm it and get picked off. It's things like that. It's that 10%, but I think that 10% is going to define 100%, and they're going to have to figure that aspect of it out. But if they can protect him well and he can clean some of that up, I see a path to success. And then you go back to Oregon and you look at his running plays there. You go back to Texas Tech. You look at his running plays there. This is a guy with 4.6 speed. Like, he can legitimately run. He's really, really good at running the ball, but he just didn't do it last year at Louisville. Almost all his runs were on scrambles, a couple RPOs, didn't run a whole lot. And I think if you can add that back in, I think the evaluation changes a little bit. But is that something that he's unwilling to do after the injuries? I don't think so. I mean, he did an interview with Todd McShay I was listening to, and he said they just kind of took all that stuff out of it. But there's a lot of stuff to like about him. But look, here's the thing. Any quarterback picked outside of the first round is almost like a 97% chance of becoming like Aiden O'Connell or worse. Like, they don't make it very often. There aren't many Jalen Hurtses. The Drew Brees is going in the second round. Like, those guys get picked 10th now. Like, the valuation of that position has just changed. In modern history, guys picked outside of the first round don't make it. So your best bet's to short this. I'm betting against it because you'd be an idiot to bet against the math, but maybe there's something here to be an outlier. Maybe Kellen Moore's the guy that can find him and put him into these positions to succeed. I see ways that he can make it. I see ways he can't. I'm interested to see it play out.
Yeah, because I feel like that was obviously one of the turning points in the draft after you go safe. it feels like by taking Kelvin Banks in the first round, it's like, okay, they have a little bit of a plan here. They're not going to take a big swing and try to, I guess, compete again or see where the direction of the franchise is going. Then they draft Tyler Shuck, and I was of the opinion maybe you wanted a mobile guy that you saw with Jalen Hurts and Kellen Moore, but if he's that injured, I don't see him being able to. I've seen the throws that you've said. I've seen the good and the bad, but the thing that stuck out to me the most was the avoidance of contact.
Yeah, I mean, but I wouldn't say he's immobile though. Like I think some of the stuff he does.
If he's 2 clavicles and a fibula.
Yeah, but I mean, there's different types of mobility too. And like last year, I think the thing he did best was off-platform throws outside of the pocket from all these different arm angles. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say he's a statue in the pocket. I've seen people say that, and I'm just like, I don't know that you actually put in the time here to make that opinion. I think he can move around, and I think he can run, and I think he will run. I think they just took it out of the Louisville. Look, the Louisville offense, if you watch it, like, they're running like Bill Walsh's 1986 West Coast offense with a couple RPOs on top and a couple jet sweeps on top. It's a very archaic offensive system. I think it's a very old method of thinking. I think they probably wanted to protect him a little bit. He's a little more time removed from it. I don't know that you're putting him out there though like he was at Oregon either. So I think there's probably somewhere, a balancing of the middle. If you can get 50 runs out of him, some scrambles, some RPOs, I think it's there. Is he going to be Jalen Hurts? No, he's not going to be Jalen Hurts, but there's an element of his game here that I think is definitely untapped, and I think they'll get some of it out of it. But yeah, he's the 40th pick in the draft. I mean, they just don't, if he was a sure thing, you go top 10. But look, I'll say this: if he was 21 and you took his career and put it, 21, 22, you took the 4 years, put them all together, and this was his finishing year, I think he is a top 15 pick. The problem is he's going to be 26, and some of the stuff you see, some of the injuries, some of the length, you kind of got to wonder, like, hey, like, how much more room is there to improve? But if you're 22 and you got a guy that's a little skittish in the pocket, you're like, all right, he can fix this. But there was somebody else kind of like this. Jarrett Stidham had some of that, and it didn't quite work out either. So again, I think the smartest bet is to short it, but I absolutely see ways for him to make it and be a good NFL quarterback. Great. No, I would guess probably significantly against that. I don't think you find those in the second round. Hurts is the extreme outlier, but I think there is a way for it to work, but we'll see. We'll just kind of have to see how it plays out. Everybody's so pissed about everything on like the day after the draft. And it's like, you don't know. Like, I remember every single guy I was wrong about. So like, I kind of just take the, whatever I was thinking going into it, like, is no longer interesting. Like, let's just see how it works out.
Well, you drafted him in your mock draft. So you're all over the pick.
Well, I knew they were making the pick. That wasn't me saying this is what they should do. This is me saying this is what they're going to do, and me telling everyone for 2 months they're going to pass on Shadur, and everyone's like, no, they're going to trade up and pick him. Like, no, they're going to pass on him at 9, and they're going to pass on him on 40. You could pull the clip. It's said on this show. I was trying to tell everybody this is who they're picking, and for some reason that just never. And it was like, hey, look, I wouldn't. Even in the mock draft, I was like, hey, look, I don't know if I would pick him here. I'd probably pick someone else, but like, I think this is what they're going to do. And that's just how it worked out.
But when you look at the totality of the draft, how do you think the Saints fared with trying to find a direction under Kellen Moore?
It looks like a lot of rebuilding to me, honestly. Like, if you were prioritizing this season, I think you're kind of like stretch him for the defensive end, you stretch him for the wide receiver, and it really just felt like they were just sitting there and like, all right, this is the best guy available, we're going to take him, and you know what, like, every position is going to suck over the next 2-3 years at some point. Even if there's a guy there now, they're old, they're going to be gone, you're going to need a replacement, so just get the best guys in the building. We'll have to see again, like, if any of these guys, but like the theory behind it, like looking at it, I was like almost encouraged by it, even though I feel terrible about where they exist at wide receiver right now. Like, not getting the big body guy feels like a huge miss to me. But on the other hand, I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, they didn't go out of pocket here. And this is the most clear sign that I think I've seen, I don't know, since 2015, I guess, that they are clearly just saying, hey, we're rebuilding our team right now. And I like it. I like that thought process. I hate that they don't have the receiver. I hate that their pass rush didn't get better. Signing the guy from the Chargers that played with Staley, had 0 sacks last year, yesterday. Like, I don't think that changes the reality of anything. And I still think they got to find that 6'2", 6'3" receiver that can make a difficult catch. Just just like if Shuck's going to be your quarterback, you got to do something to set him up a little bit better for success. So maybe it's a Keenan Allen or something like that. But I still think that's an absolute must, and they got to figure out a way to address that.
So outside of Banks at 9 and Shuck at 40, what's a name in the later rounds of the draft for the Saints that really stood out to you that you think can make an impact early on for Kellen Moore in his beginning?
I mean, Devin Neal felt like a big steal. Getting a guy, 1,200-yard rushing every year in the 6th round feels like a big steal for them. I like Stutzman. I think people are going to love that guy. Like, if you've never heard him talk, go watch an interview. Like, just a hilarious individual. And he just plays hard. He's just kind of that. He just feels like the guy that kind of like rides up to the practice facility in like a pickup truck with a piece of hay in his mouth and then just like goes and hits people. Like, you need some of those guys on your team. He gives you that. It's weird, like Jonas Sanker, the 4th round pick, he tackles really well in the box, but like his special teams plays really, really stood out to me. And that's not what you want to be saying, like, is a headline on 4th round. Like, I think he does a lot more, but he looks like somebody that plays really hard and is really selfless. I kind of like that pick there. But I think Devin Neal is definitely the guy, late round pick that feels like someone that's going to come in, make an impact, and maybe feel like a steal for this team.
Hey, Nick, I'm John. I work for one of the TV stations in Baton Rouge. I've been to a couple of the Saints Things games and camp and all that stuff. I've seen you there. Love your work. You mentioned this there briefly, the receiver position. That was a position I think everybody was hoping the Saints would get somebody with in the draft, and they didn't. Obviously, it's tough because you have needs pretty much everywhere, so you have a lot to address, and they just didn't get around to that. Just kind of what's the outlook on that position moving forward? Do they have what they need? Is there a guy or a type of guy? You kind of mentioned it, Keenan Allen there, maybe a big body type receiver that you think this organization needs?
I think it's a must. Yeah, I mean, look, if you're going to have a guy playing, I don't expect Derek Carr to be on this team, and I might be super wrong on that, but letting him back in the building would be, I don't want to put it like that because like maybe he's actually hurt, but like him playing this season just doesn't make sense to me. Like it just doesn't. He's not bought in on anything. He wanted out. I understand he's got a lot going on. If that's all real, and it probably is, like who knows, whatever. Like it just feels like a very good time for them to have a separation and go their own ways for both parties. So presuming that you just drafted a guy at 40, you drafted a guy at 40, he's handpicked guy by the coach. You drafted a quarterback last year, which tells me the guy that you took at 40 is there to replace the guy from last year, and we should all assume he's going to be the starter. And if it's even anywhere close, he's going to win that battle. Like they want to move forward with Tyler Shuck, and if he's there, I think his life becomes a lot easier if you give him that type of receiver. They got 3 6-foot-tall guys right now in Shaheed Olave and Brandon Cooks. They're all really fast. They're all very similar. I don't think any of them are what you would call like a security blanket. And I think just having that would just allow your quarterback to have some easy throws and to build confidence in difficult situations. And it'd make things a little bit easier for him. But look, there's another way to go about this. And it might just be you have all your speed on the outside with your receivers and you kind of use your tight ends in those types of positions. Shuck had played with Jawan Johnson before. I think they were even roommates at one point. That's how long he was in college, which is just kind of crazy to think about. But like, look, I mean, you might just have 3 separation monsters, and if everybody's getting open and you got a bunch of burners and you're designing your offense that way, like that makes it easy to play quarterback too. But I still think they very, very badly need that guy when the field gets condensed. You're on the 7-yard line in the red zone. There is no room to get separation and nobody's open. You need to have somebody that you can just kind of throw open. And I think they badly have to get that type of player.
And you mentioned the Derek Carr situation. Obviously, it feels like I guess he gave himself his own eulogy. I've never seen somebody go to a whatever that was, a church camp, and start. I don't think that's what a pastor does, is talk about his injuries and talk about his career. But maybe I'm wrong. I haven't been to the Las Vegas Church of Carr yet. Don't plan to attend. But do you think that was the final kind of, I guess, what the final straw for what this whole experience was? Because I mean, it's been a mercurial ride, to say the least, and now it feels like with him going out there publicly and stating something like that why bring him back?
Yeah. So let's say he really did get a shoulder injury at some point, which is believable enough. Like maybe it was an old injury. They say it was from his brother says it's from the Giants game last year when he dove and landed on his left hand, broke his left hand, and now he has a right shoulder injury. You know, I don't know the math on that, but like he had the AC, he had the AC joint injury before in 2023. That's originally what me and a bunch of other reporters had heard it was. So whatever. Let's just say he has a shoulder injury. He had an MRI. It's bad. He goes out. He throws in March. Who knows when it happened? It didn't show up like as an immediate thing after the season. He goes out to throw in March and it hurts. Okay, fine. I can believe that. I can believe there's something there. You know, prayers to him and his wife. He said they had a miscarriage, and that's why he hadn't come down here to get checked out by the Saints doctors yet. Completely understandable. Stay home. Take care of all that. Let's say all this stuff is true. It's still also true that he wanted out of here. He tried to get released. He tried to get traded. On January 6th of last year in the Saints locker room, he said that his body felt good and he didn't see any need for surgery and that he had a bunch of scans. He did also say if there was a setback, he could see himself needing surgery on something. So, okay, maybe there was a setback and maybe he needs the surgery now. But it's also true that he was attempting to throw down the stretch of the season and he was able to throw with his right arm, but the reason he didn't play is because he couldn't grip the ball with his left. So, like, it's just kind of, it's all still just very, very odd and very weird. And, you know, I was saying this yesterday on one of our shows. I think the best thing Derek Carr could do right now, and again, granted, maybe he just can't be here right now because he has family stuff going on, and that's all incredibly understandable, and nobody would ever criticize him for that. But whenever he gets to a point where that can clear up, honestly, I think even if he has to get surgery and he knows he's done here, the most marketable thing a 34-year-old quarterback could do who's kind of had the two chances to be the franchise guy, didn't lock it down, you can look forward into his future and see very clearly that over the next 4 or 5 years, he's probably going to live one of those nomadic existences where he's the guy that people go get, like a Russell Wilson. You know, hey, look, need a starter, don't have one. This guy might give this team with a decent roster a chance to win. That's probably how he's going to live. The thing that could make him even more valuable in that type of role, because now you're going to be a part-time player probably anywhere you go for the rest of your career, is to be that quarterback who's willing to mentor young players and groom your replacement. And that's a very hard thing to do as a competitor, but I think it makes him more palatable to any situation if he's just the guy that's in there helping Tyler Shuck get better, helping Spencer Rattler get better, being totally selfless, being around all season, looking all the way bought in, and then he can go, hey, look what I did for Tyler Shuck. And now, you know, the Giants sign him or Cleveland sign, whoever it is after the season, if he has to get the surgery and he's around, like the best thing he could have did is shown up on day one. And again, I understand he has a family situation, so maybe it's not possible. So whenever day one's possible for him, if he like shows up and is just like bought in, I think that would be the thing that earns him the most money on his next contract. Now, I don't like, I just want it to be done. Like, I'm not saying I want this to happen. I think this is what he should be doing though. Like, and that's why it gets weird for me, because the Derek Carr we knew, the Derek Carr that talked on in January about what they needed to do to get better, how bought in he was on the situation, how excited he was about the future and all that. Like that guy that was showing up all the time at the beginning that said he was putting himself through 2 practices every single day, the one they did and the one after, to learn Kubiak's offense, to be all the way bought in on the system and setting the culture. That Derek Carr was just ultimate team guy. Like this is different. This is different than what it was. And whatever it is, he could say that the reporting by ESPN's fake. It was actually, the network where his brother works that put the story out, and then it was his brother who went on TV and said the same thing that they said. He could say all that's fake. He can scoff at Diana Rossini, which was like insane, calling her a lady with the podcast, one of the 5 best NFL reporters in the whole league. Like that was incredibly I didn't like how he said that. But look, like he can say all this stuff's fake, but like the other side of this is that it's still a very, very weird situation. Derek Carr wanted out. Derek Carr gets his weird injury afterwards. Nobody says anything about it. They let the story run wild. He, kind of criticized everyone for not making their best effort to in life or whatever it was. But it's like, everybody's like making their best effort to try to figure out what's going on here, and nobody's saying anything. And it just allowed it to get everything he said is probably true, but like he handled it in the weirdest way possible, like just letting it run wild, not leaking anything. Like it's very easy for one of 20 different people connected to Derek Carr to send a text and say, hey, Derek's shoulder got hurt when he tried to throw. Like, it was a pre-existing thing, and he has a family issue going on, so he's not going to be around for a while. And everyone would have been like, oh, I totally get it. Like, as an adult, if someone says family issue, like, that just immediately means, like, okay, like, just there's something going on here. Like, I'm leaving it alone. Like, nobody would have said anything. Like, but like, they handled it in the weirdest way possible, and they let it become a bigger thing maybe than it needed to be. But like, at the end of the day, it still feels like this is headed to split. It's still very weird that Mickey Loomis gets up, and has to say, like, we're waiting for clarity. Now we know why, like, because he hasn't been around yet for them to probably do everything they want to do to find out where it's at. To me, like, everybody playing nice on both sides just spells the possibility of, like, them still hoping to find some type of resolution for a split, like an injury settlement. Is there a way to trade him? Is there a way to figure something out here to where it doesn't become an explosive situation? To me, it feels like the Saints are kind of walking on eggshells a little bit as to keep all their options open and not create like an adversarial relationship, because they probably both ultimately want to find a way to get out of this situation now.
Yeah, that's what it feels like to me, especially when you draft Tyler Shuck and the first thing he does is put Boozy in the background, and then he has like, I'll die for this football team. And it's the exact thing that always works if you're a New Orleans Saint or somebody from New Orleans. Like, show the buy-in immediately, and then you'll be able to, I don't care how you play, but if you love it, they'll love you back. And it feels like Shuck got off right on the right foot when Derek Carr continues to misstep with his left. And that's why it feels like even if he did come back in the building, I don't think people would even want to see him on the sidelines in a New Orleans Saints uniform.
Yeah, like, you come to the Saints, you take a picture outside like Giacomo's or something like that, go down to Sneaker Politics, hit up Chance, like, take a picture inside the store, throw on a Sneaker Politics shirt, get some old Cash Money t-shirts, post a couple, Lil Wayne lyrics, put Boosie on a IG post, and that's it. Like, that's all you have to do. Like, you don't even have to eat at Giacomo's. Like, just take a picture outside and say, like, man, like, the charbroiled oysters are amazing. And like, that's all you got to do. Like, just like, buy in a little bit to the culture and show people that, and people will love you. That's all it takes. I've seen some worse players get more love from the fans than better players, because the worst players just felt like one of their guys. Like, just really truly embrace it, and then you're golden forever. But you can fake it too if you got to. Like, just don't do what, like, Carr just never really felt like he bought in, and then by the time he did, it felt like it was a little bit too late.
Yep.
Obviously the draft is over. Nick, what's next for New Orleans football coming soon?
Got rookie minicamp coming up, I think May 10th, have that, then OTAs and actual minicamp. So, like, we got some real football coming up here, some real things to look at. I'm excited to see, what this stuff looks like, figure out what the offense looks like, all that stuff. Kind of interesting now, man. Like, agree or disagree with the quarterback, at least it's better than kind of spinning the wheels with where they were at.
Direction's always nice.
Amen.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate your time and, of course, the insight. Once again, and we'll talk again next week.
Yeah, take it easy, guys.
Thank you.
Sir.
Great stuff, as always, as Nick breaks it all down from Derek Carr to Tyler Shuck to Kelvin Banks and everything in between.
The Carr thing is one of the most interesting things that I've ever been a part of.
It's unbelievable.
Like, at some point, it really does just feel like, I don't think those people like me, and I don't want to go there.
Yeah, no, that's what it is.
It's like he transferred to a different school.
And and like Nick just said, there's a script.
Oh,
like,
we're the easiest girl to bring home from the bar in the world.
Every time.
Like, oh, I did it again.
There's a script on
we got a type
to how to win us over.
Just like me a little.
Yep, takes 4 things.
He laid out the plan, the blueprint.
It's so easy.
And he did the opposite of all of that. Let's go to Las Vegas and film a Bentley commercial. Let's go preach in the church of Las Vegas and talk about how people don't talk nice about me. Like, get the fuck on.
Because, I mean, like, of course, the family issues, the
you can't be soft
all
here
of those
either.
Things, like,
completely understandable.
That's completely understandable.
But it was like a big, long game of telephone where there was no answer.
It's the timing of it. Like, all these other things were put out and said, and then that was thrown in at this point. And obviously, it's understandable. And if that would have been what was said from the get-go, there's no, like Nick said, there's no conversation to be had.
No. It's just been it's so odd how it played out. It only feels like, in terms of being ingratiated and liked by the city, He just couldn't have done it in a worse way.
No, and there's
that's
no
why,
going
because
back. He can't fix it. Ever.
No, and when you look at the numbers, like his numbers weren't even all that bad. It was just like, don't like you.
Yeah, no, I mean that's really what it came down to. But yeah, we appreciate Nick and all of his insight. Christian, if you want to stand back up, get over there to your whiteboard as you break down your 25 selections on all-time athletes to take down. This is his all-time list to take down a gorilla. So go make your way down the list.
All right.
I like number 1.
Ben Wallace.
Go Pistons.
Can they hear him?
No, yeah, the microphone.
We need to bring that microphone around.
Swing that thing around, yeah.
Not much to be said about good old Ben Wallace. Let me bring the whiteboard over more. There we go.
High level production here.
Vince Wilfork.
Yeah. Hold on, this one moves too.
Oh.
Hey, looks like he's doing it. Boom goes the dynamite.
Got Vince Wilfork. Just need some dead weight, just some pure absolute
Athlete.
weight. I mean, the gorilla's gonna have a hard time moving him. Shaq. I mean, he's a versatile guy, you know. If we're picking LSU Shaq, he moves around better than Lakers Shaq. If we're picking Lakers Shaq, he's more powerful, more weight.
He bangs in the post too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not afraid of contact. I think you want Lakers Shaq, I would imagine, for this scenario.
Yeah, I agree.
I think so, but if we want to go LSU Shaq,
yeah, if you want to go even Orlando Shaq, moves better. Yeah.
Yeah. No Celtic Shaq, though.
Absolutely not Celtic.
Phoenix Sun Shaq, though.
James Harrison in retirement.
That's a good pick.
I mean, it's just something that he would do.
Definitely.
Fight a gorilla.
I don't know who this next one is.
Alex Pereira.
Is UFC.
Chama. Former UFC heavyweight champion,
Kickboxer.
I believe.
Yep.
Kickboxer, known as Stone Hands. Yeah, he's just a guy with aura. I had to pick him. Francis Ngannou, same thing. His punches were measured to be some of the hardest in the world. So, I mean, if he catches the gorilla with a clean right or a clean left, it probably doesn't even matter.
And then you have an actual murderer on
Got
the
a straight
board.
killer.
And then we have Ray Lewis. How could you not pick Ray Lewis? I mean, that was a pretty obvious
Actually,
pick.
it kind of shifts the metrics a little bit. You got somebody with experience.
Yeah. Jalen Carter.
Also.
Yep.
Could have thrown Quinnen Williams in there, too, but we chose Jalen Carter because he just won the Super Bowl. Warren Sapp.
Is Jalen Carter in a vehicle or no?
Yeah.
No weapons.
No
I'd rather, but. Warren Sapp, pretty self-explanatory. Dog, beast. Ndamukong Suh.
Yeah.
We're going to need somebody to
Dirty
stomp
player.
on the
Dirty
gorilla
player.
when he's down. Yeah.
Glimmer says, "Is the gorilla 5'2" and thick? Shaq might seduce it." Continue.
Derrick Henry.
Seemed illegal.
Yep. Derrick Henry.
Beast. The Mountain.
Ah.
Either Game of Thrones or the
just
strongman
real life.
competition. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
That's who he is.
The Mountain might be able to take the gorilla one-on-one. I'm not going to lie.
One-on-one.
One-on-one.
All right. Continue.
Trent Williams. I mean, just another football player pick.
14.
Now, this is 14. 14 is when you started to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah. David Goggins. We're gonna need a couple minds that can organize us and motivate us. So
Yeah.
we also have Coach O, specifically coked up. Coach O.
Miami Coach O.
So yeah.
This is Alabama 2021.
Yes.
Coach O setting his jaw and fist pumping on the sideline.
Our team will not be lacking motivation.
As Avery Atkins throws a pass on 4th down on a fake punt.
Lawrence Taylor. So I mean, that's 2 cocaine picks in a row. Just realized.
Right, yeah.
Wow. Maybe I throw Maradona in at 26. LeBron James. How could I not include
An athlete such as LeBron.
the goat to some, the second goat to others? Draymond.
Draymond Green.
Yeah, I mean, we need.
I mean, our guy talked about kicking him in the balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that being a strategy. I mean, Draymond.
You have a little bit of a clash here on 17 and 18, though. Like the chemistry's falling apart.
No, Draymond loves LeBron.
Well.
Draymond's never.
He's a
weird.
big.
Draymond would be a good chemistry guy. I think he gets along with a lot
And
of
a fighter.
guys.
Yeah, he does. Him and Ray Lewis love each other.
And then, okay, yeah, I have to throw myself in there.
Yeah, 19.
P-Dub was waiting for 19. What did he say earlier? he said something about, well, now we got to know who number 19 is. What a tease. There you go. Number 19 is Christian Cowley. But specifically.
5 beers deep. So the thinking with the 5 beers deep is if the gorilla hits me one time, and I'm sober, I'm probably just gonna lay on the ground and like
You're gonna be
kinda
dead.
like fuck, I'm dead. But the gorilla hits me and I'm 5 beers deep. Like I'm not really feeling it. Like I mean, yeah, it's me 5 beers deep. You know if you know. Sadir Mitchell, just a good pick, hometown pick.
There you go. We go LSU guy.
Hometown hero
LSU's
there.
got to get back in the portal.
Yeah.
Sam Sulik, just a viral bodybuilder. I mean, more weight to throw around.
Tell the gorilla not to skip cardio.
Yeah.
Start doing poses.
He'll
We're
probably
gonna do
distraction.
front double
start
bicep
flexing on the gorilla.
Front double bicep.
4 reps.
We're gonna
Is
lat
that
spread
guy
here.
that can't breathe?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's a big guy.
Yeah.
Vita Vea, this was John's pick.
Great pick.
Yeah, great.
More weight to throw around. Got good hair too. Aaron Donald.
Shouldn't have made it to 23.
Yeah, shouldn't have been at 23, but
Aaron Donald could probably take the gorilla by himself.
definitely on the list. He's different.
Okay.
Trains with knives.
Brock
Still looks
Lesnar,
Looks
Mike
outstanding.
Tyson to end it off. Do y'all really think these 25 guys are losing to one gorilla?
It was Brock Lesnar at 24, who I mean is
Another
a monster, and then prime Iron Mike Tyson at 25.
There's no way this loses to a gorilla. Come on. We're overrating. If it's King Kong, sure, but this is a gorilla we're talking about. Like, it only weighs 400 pounds. We've got 5 guys on here that weigh 400 pounds.
Yeah, we do have the mass of the list is impressive.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
like,
it is a.
I could have had 10 and we'd still be good.
Who's
Not
left?
a lot of female representation.
Oh, you did have to do it. We'll throw Ronda Rousey on there for yeah.
Hope Solo.
King Kong is a
Hope Solo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Could stench the gorilla out.
Oh yeah.
Actually, no. We'll appoint a girl coach for the team. We'll add a coach slot.
Becky.
The Spurs coach. What's her name?
Becky Hammond.
Becky Hammond.
All right, that'll be our
You
coach.
do, John. I like your strategy better, as opposed to trying to fight it. Just seduce it.
Seduce the gorilla.
Yeah, that's what happened. He fell in love with a woman.
Exactly.
Brought her all with the best view in the world.
All right,
the
so
Empire State
who's the
Building.
pick for the gorilla to fall in love with? Who would it be?
Oh, Kay Adams. Nicest woman? What about Jane from Tarzan?
That's who the pick would be. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Coach Becky Hammond. There you go.
Or Mowgli's little ting at the end of Jungle Book.
That's not the Jungle Book I watched.
Mowgli fell in love with a village girl.
Did he?
He did.
Yeah.
Oh, Kim Mulkey would be
That's
a
how it
great
ended.
coach.
Oh yeah.
Take Becky Hammond off. Put
Yeah.
Kim Mulkey on the board.
We have to.
Yeah, Kim Mulkey's the coach.
Not a bad squad.
CVO, yeah, Lawrence Taylor's on there underneath Coach O. They're both coked up.
Yeah,
together.
they got to get there.
Yeah, I
Do you-
mean
do you-
that's. What you got?
If you got Mulkey coaching though, do you worry that they're going to be playing too much defense, not enough offense?
That's right. Have to go to the portal again.
Yeah,
That is true.
that is true. I know you got. I mean, you've got LeBron on the roster,
Draymond.
and Dre. I mean, LeBron will keep the offense organized for sure. Per ChatGPT, about 4 to 5 Aaron Donalds is equal to 1 gorilla. Let's. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put this whole thing into ChatGPT. I'm gonna put the whole list in.
Does this be a gorilla?
I'm gonna see if Christian's 25 beats a gorilla. Obviously, I put it in the chat. Vote on the poll. Does Christian's 25 beat a gorilla? Does this list of 25 people
No, because I don't
Beat-
think Gorilla cares.
I don't think gorilla.
But I don't know how aggressive gorillas are. You really don't have not a lot of videos of them fighting, but I think that's because nobody wants to fight a gorilla.
Right.
Like
see.
it's usually gorilla on gorilla crime. It's violent.
Of course.
That would be a massive news story: is a human fighting a gorilla.
Oh, like
So there's really no reference. To
I guess
offense.
that's what was Harambe.
Yeah.
Is that a gorilla?
Yeah,
They shot him,
they did because there was a small child that fell into the.
and we didn't even give him a
Enclosure.
chance to see what kind of heart he had.
I swear he's nice.
But I guess you have to play the. We'd rather put down the gorilla than the alternative of
Then
what you-
watch the gorilla murder the child.
Yeah, because it wouldn't be like a comfortable.
No,
That's just
no,
a
not at all.
bad situation all
Yeah,
around.
that's what I'm saying. I think it would be such a jarring visual that you can palate seeing a gorilla get shot in the head, but seeing what a gorilla would do to a small girl
child. Yeah,
would probably be one of those things that
just kill the gorilla.
can't believe I left my phone at home.
Oh my gosh! Oh, I just deleted everything. Never mind.
We'll do it in overtime.
We'll do another. Let's get that athletic connections.
Yes, we have to keep the streak alive.
We have to keep rolling.
And we have Well, now we have an unfair advantage.
Hunter
We got
said,
Eads.
"Oh boy, just wait until you
I'm
get
not
to
that
the
good.
athletic connections today," says Hunter Hole.
What if it's about? Do you think there's 4 people you can put together to beat a gorilla on Athletic Connections?
That would be. Imagine it's for it's like Eddie Hall, Francis Ngannou, Ndamukong Suh, and
Brock
the
Lesnar.
Mountain. Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of when you're typing in your fantasy team to one of these fantasy football analyzers.
Uh-huh.
And then you're typing in all
100%.
your players. And you're hoping what pops up is something good. But for me, it's always you're going to go
I always
7-7.
I always win the draft.
Really?
Yeah.
And then your team falls apart.
I drafted Christian McCaffrey first overall.
Mm.
Still made it to the semis, boys.
There
Watch
you
out,
go.
I'm a
There you
weapon
go.
in fantasy football.
Bucky Irving? Question mark.
Ooh.
Bucky, first overall pick. Maybe.
Really? I might keep him. We do keeper.
Wait, what do you mean you might? Yeah.
I gotta evaluate, you know.
Yeah. Never say yeah.
I might keep Derek Carr, you know.
Yeah, it's like Mickey. You gotta look at everything.
It's not a results based business.
Nike, Puma, Reebok, Jordan. Oh, okay, never mind. They got some different categories. New Balance. I don't know what repacks are. What's a Makita?
Reebok?
I see Reebok.
Let's just go Nike.
Repacks.
I think Nike, Puma, Reebok, and New Balance
shoes
are the shoes. Jordan was thrown in there to throw it off.
Well, then what would Jordan go with, you think?
I think it's probably
I
just a
think
last
there's
name.
going to be Jordan. Well, did he go to Mars? No. Let's see. Yeah.
There you go.
Sneaker brands.
That is misleading though, because Jordan.
They try to trick you every now and
They try to
again.
get you. Backup, fill in, sub, reserve.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for reserve.
And then
Saber-tooth tiger. Saber. There's a weapon also.
Peyton, Jordan.
Banks.
Yeah.
Mars.
What's Mars?
Some kind of famous athletes.
It's got to be somebody with a.
Guys that played 2 sports.
It's got to be last names or
Peyton
something.
played 2 sports.
I don't know what Walter Payton.
Yeah.
Here's
it's just Chicago athletes.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Banks as playbs.
There you go.
So let's just go Mars. I think Mars is.
I don't know who Makita is.
Maybe a Blackhawks player.
Nope.
Yeah.
Sounds like a hockey player.
There we go.
Chicago sports greats.
Jest, Saber, Repacks, Mars.
I never know these.
I don't know what that is.
How much goes away so quick too? Anagrams of NFL teams. Wow, Packers,
Oh,
Rams.
okay.
I'm good at anagrams.
Okay.
'cause
Are you?
What is an anagram? I don't even know.
It's words that are in other words.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's like repacks is Packers.
Nice. That'd be funny if they changed to the repacks.
They should.
Repacks.
We're 50-50.
What, really? The poll's 50-50?
Well, your list is that's a dangerous team.
Yeah, I mean, you put together quite the roster. I will give you
There's really not somebody I would think to add on there. You know?
No, I thought you did a really good job.
This is one of those next Netflix July specials. One time.
Yeah.
Gorilla versus these guys.
What's
Mr. Beast.
I was about to say, wouldn't Mr.
would be
Beast
all
do
over
this?
it. He would be all over it. Tell me he wouldn't.
He tweeted about it, but he
Of course
also
he did.
quote tweeted the wrong one.
I don't understand where this whole thing came from. Like, why?
I don't know how it started either, but it's everywhere.
Yeah, I mean this is what
the
the
Squid Game.
yeah.
Fight the gorilla.
Yeah, that would be good.
If you die, you die.
There would have to be some sort of Dabo. I would put him in there for.
I would. Yeah, he'd be bait.
Put Dabo in there.
Yeah,
just
Oh yeah.
Just to
see if he can make a
see if he can
gorilla
recruit him.
cringe.
I got an
See if
idea.
you make the gorilla cringe. What's your idea?
You have him get off the bus, touch Howard's Rock, run down the hill,
He
full
could bring-
speed,
Full speed
just
at the
tackle
gorilla.
him.
Yeah.
Or her.
He would
Yeah.
take that gorilla down.
He would bounce all the way back up to the rock.
He could take the Rock in for the fight.
Yeah,
I'll give him
use
Howard's
Howard's
Rock.
Rock.
Are you guys looking forward to that? Like seeing that? I mean, it's a pretty cool tradition they got over there.
Not him. If
Yeah,
I'm
if it
hoping
wasn't-
to be, that's probably prime time to go get a drink. Is when he runs down. Then hopefully I'll get back for the team.
I think it's pretty dope though.
Yeah, it's a cool. I mean, it's one of one of the better ones in college football. It's just the fact that he made it about himself.
Oh, yeah.
Like, imagine if he coached at Michigan, he would 1,000% try to jump up and slap the banner.
Well, everybody does that.
Not the coach.
I think so.
I don't think when Bo Schembechler was up getting air.
Well, that I don't know, but I know that Harbaugh would. But Harbaugh was kind of
Harbaugh's a
he's kind of like
Michigan
Dabo.
Yeah.
All right, ChatGPT broke it down. I finally got all the names put in. I said, would all 25 of those names, coached by Kim Mulkey, defeat one silverback gorilla in a fight? ChatGPT says this is the kind of absurdly entertaining hypothetical that belongs in the wildest corners of the internet, and I'm here for it. Let's break this down with a mix of science, logic, and humor. So the one silverback gorilla is 400 to 500 pounds.
Okay.
Can lift 10 times its body weight.
That's strong.
Which is comparable to 4 to 10 elite power lifters combined. The bite force is 1,300 psi, which is much stronger than a lion. Can sprint at 20 to 25 miles per hour. And the durability has skin like thick rubber, bones denser than humans, and can tank blunt trauma.
Can take blunt trauma.
It says tank, but
well, yeah,
we'll say take. The team, literal avengers of strength, size, and chaos.
Good job.
Freak athletes like Derrick Henry, Aaron Donald, Shaq, Trent Williams, etc. Psychos like David Goggins, Lawrence Taylor on cocaine, Coach O on hypothetical cocaine. No hypotheticals. And Draymond Green.
On cocaine?
No.
Oh.
He's just a psycho. Fighters like Francis Ngannou, Brock Lesnar, Mike Tyson, Alex Pereira. Size tanks, The Mountain, Vita Vea, Will Fork, and Sam Sulik. And strategy, coached by Kim Mulkey, who might bench half the team for showboating. And
Did it actually say that?
Yeah. X Factors, Draymond's kicks, Goggins' pain tolerance, and Lawrence Taylor's rage mode. Analysis, in a 1v1, the silverback gorilla kills any human here, even Ngannou or Lesnar, in seconds, no contest. In a group ambush, unarmed, this might actually work. Barely. With 25 plus elite humans swarming it, they could potentially overwhelm it with sheer numbers and coordination, especially with actual combatants like Ngannou and Pereira targeting vitals while the linemen and linebackers try to hold it down. The gorilla would still likely kill or maim multiple humans in the process. With prep and strategy, if they go WWE Rumble style and take turns, they lose.
Mm-hmm.
But if they dogpile it immediately and relentlessly, they have a real shot. Yes, this super team could defeat a silverback gorilla if they all attack at once, accept casualties, and fight like it's life or death. It wouldn't be pretty. Someone's getting their face torn off, but with the freaks like Ngannou, Shaq, and the Mountain working together under an unhinged coaching staff, the gorilla's got problems. Want me to make a comic-style poster of this insane matchup? Yes, please.
Yes. The internet is crazy.
Bro, ChatGPT is awesome. Let's get this this poster made.
Is it generating?
Yeah, it's generating right now.
Can you send it to me?
Yeah, I will.
I'm excited to see this. Might be the new, I don't know, it's going to be a part of the show somehow.
It's processing image. This might take a bit. We'll notify you when your image is ready. It's okay. We got time.
Yeah, nothing but time. We got a quick sporkle we can do.
Bro, this is crazy.
I can't believe that. I mean, what did they think I was going to say?
They could have asked a better question.
That's the best question ever. Want me to make a poster? Yeah, please. I love that it put Coach O on hypothetical cocaine, but Lawrence Taylor on actual cocaine.
Well, I guess one has
That's more
been
of a
proven
legitimate story.
true.
Yeah.
One is assumed true.
I should have made it 2018 LeBron James, but...
Did you put Christian in there?
Yeah, I put Christian Cowley in there as well.
What did you pick up on?
You didn't. You weren't referenced. I think you were in the will be sacrificed.
No analysis on Christian. That's
no analysis on
such a
Christian
cop-out.
Cowley. You can go to ChatGPT and look yourself up. It'll tell you all about yourself.
Oh.
You put your name in. Yeah, I mean, all it does is go to all the corners of the internet and figure out who you are.
I don't need that in my life. I got enough problems.
I'm going to go to ChatGPT and look up Lloyd Courtney.
No, don't, dude. No,
Who is Lloyd?
No. More than fine.
Yo,
person.
Did you guys see the soundbite I posted of Braswell yesterday?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I asked him about Tennessee, and he was like, "Yeah, I hate those guys."
those
Kind of
guys.
jokingly, but you could tell he was serious. ESPN just asked for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Give it to
Look,
him.
No, say like Charge them.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
yeah,
charge
say-
them. I just think that's funny. Like
50
people
bucks.
they're gonna run with this now.
Yeah, no, they are.
Yeah, you could really get on Jay's good
Good for
side
you.
if you asked him, be like, "Do you want this out there?"
I mean, if you read it in a newspaper clipping, you would need the context.
Of course.
Because the way he
Well,
said
they're not
it,
going
you know,
to put it in context. Is what
Yeah.
This is going to be a. I don't know what ESPN's going to do with it. They don't cover much college baseball.
I don't know.
Let's see if it can find Christian Cowley for me. Who is Christian Cowley? I found your dad.
Yeah.
I wonder if it has me.
Well, if it has his dad.
It didn't have. Yeah, we got the.
You got to air it live now.
Yeah,
on the
no.
Culotta show.
Let me send this to Lloyd right now.
While we wait.
Let's get that Sporkle.
Let's
That's
see.
it, dude. It's such a good picture. We've done this one before.
Have we?
Yep.
Oh
I
yeah.
remember the first question, the rebranded to Starry. It was Sierra Mist.
I think we're almost out.
We're running low.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Is there a specific amount of them?
You might need a Jordy Culotta shirt or a different grab bag.
Oh yeah. You start making our own grab bags.
Oh, we haven't done this one.
But
it's a good time for it. It's a burning time.
Oh, is it?
It used to just be Fridays, but we got addicted to it one day and did too many.
I mean, that's a tale as old as time.
Yeah, it is. Once you start something that you like, I tend to do it a lot. Oh, it cripples me.
I'm sending you the poster now. Look closer. The two act.
Cardinal, Bishop, Archbishop.
Oh, the 5 ranks in the Catholic.
Oh, because we did the Heisman winners. Yeah,
Yeah, we
fuck,
did do this
man.
one already.
We have this poster.
Get that poster pulled.
Whoever makes those.
Grab bags. Get back to work, please.
Whoa! Yeah, this is sick.
They cooked.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
I'm excited.
The Silverback Showdown.
Oh man. Wow.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's
You can tell who some of them are.
Yeah.
Ben, look, there's.
I see Ben Wallace.
I was about to say Ben
Yeah,
Wallace in the
with
back
the-
with the
with the
headband.
headband.
Not a lot of diversity that you put on your team.
There's 2 guys in the middle that have the exact same face. You see him?
Yeah.
Where's Mike Tyson?
Is this LeBron over here that's bald?
Maybe.
They did him dirty.
LeBron's bottom left.
You think that's him?
That's in Janu. Either way.
You put together quite the team.
That's Sue right there, second behind Coach Mulkey.
Well, no doubt.
Yeah, no, it's definitely Sue.
That's Goggins,
That's
huh? To the left.
Yeah.
Mulkey's hands.
Yeah. She's wearing a glove.
Yeah, that's,
Leather glove.
we should have put
OJ
OJ on the
Simpson!
table.
God, you forgot about OJ. OJ in gloves, yay or nay?
Not in the gloves.
No gloves. Gloves didn't fit.
They didn't fit. You can't restrict him. OJ in a Bronco?
St. Brown said it's kind of wild to see Kim surrounded by a whole bunch of.
Yeah. Hey, it's a team. Nothing we can do about that.
That could be the name for a really good football rivalry, Silverback Showdown. I'm not
Yeah.
sure where.
Or like 2 trucks.
Yeah.
Silverado.
Silverado.
That's awesome. Good job, Christian. That is a good team you put together. I appreciate your hard work.
Guys pulled it out.
Yeah, we did.
Walk-off winner.
You did. You did a good job. It was all off the dome. John, we appreciate you coming in, joining us, and hanging out.
Got it.
We appreciate everybody watching. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 7 to 9.
Yeah, Coach O didn't make the poster.
Yeah, Coach O's not on the poster.
Well, I don't think Lawrence Taylor is either. They might be off getting ready for the fight.
Say, where is Coach O? Maybe they're going to make a new poster with Coach O on it.
Where's Christian? Are they gonna make another one?
Yeah, it's gonna add Coach O.
Oh, get ready for tomorrow's show.
We'll have this right at the beginning at 7 a.m.
Thank you, John. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you add OJ?
Weren't you supposed to go to class today, Christian? No, that's tomorrow, huh?
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm gonna start improving my 25.
You're gonna start cleaning it up.
In the meantime,
We're gonna find the best possible.
I've never used ChatGPT.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know it could.
You'd have used it like crazy when you were in school.
No,
would have been a thing.
I wrote myself.
Sure.
Now, if they had one for like math.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Oh, okay. Then I wouldn't be able to. Then I.
Then I can't lose. For myself, man, I can't lose. For my family, man, I can't lose. I grind hard, man, I can't lose. I'm stacking days.